Hi, Yami. Hi, She Big Cute. Hi, everyone coming in. Hi, Foxes. I hope the camera quality is a little better than what it's showing up on my end. I apologize. Probably because of the weather in my location. Hi, Lorinda. Hi, Silver Priestess. Kara, Tiffany, the Spiritual Sister. Hi for the Chosen Ones. Emily, Helen, Illuminated Spirit, Natalia, Zenith. Oh my gosh, I don't think I could talk that fast. Jocelyn's Galaxy, Rhonda Pay. Hi, everyone coming in. I am so glad you were able to make it today. Since we've got a few people coming in and Odin does not seem as patient as he could be, let's go ahead and get started. Let's give the man what he's waiting for. Grand Rising, good day, and good night. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to 144 from the stars, Tarot. We're going to go ahead and give our trusted companion a treat because we love him and we like to do nice things to people we love. All right, let's go ahead. I do have like a whole lot of information in my head. I don't even know where to start. It's a lot. So for me to just kind of dial it down and let the energy come out naturally, I'm going to go ahead and start with a little bit of just a general reading for the moment, and then we'll see how else the energy needs to be directed and flow out. So I hope you all are doing well. I hope you have taken good use of the recent energies we had available to us. This most recent full moon was a super blue moon, but it was also a double super blue moon, which the last time that happened was in 99. So definitely a unique opportunity. A lot's wanting to come through. I'm not going to take it. Just one or two cards, please. So some of you may or may not have been alive during the last one. However, I am getting that there is an opportunity for a big turnaround in your life, and many of you did it. I mean, think about it. We had a super rare blue moon right after the peak of Lionsgate. So if you were using that energy accordingly and you were putting out your energies, you were clearing your vessel and your space, and you were manifesting whatever you wanted to manifest into your life, you had an extra supernatural boost from the moon. So just know that your manifestations are definitely going to be coming in. We have It's Time to Release Negativity full moon in Scorpio, and I'm sure many of you have been currently going through that. There's been a lot of cleansing and purging going on right now. I mean, full moons do tend to bring things to an all-time high. That includes emotions. We do have a full moon in Pisces at the bottom of the deck. Balance spirituality and practicality. Many of you are learning how to balance the craziness of you being an awakened spiritual individual, but also having to integrate into life on Earth realm. And you are getting very good at that. So just congratulations on being an alien in disguise, because that's not easy to do, or an angel, or whatever, a star. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull some tarot. Let's see what Spirit would like you all to know. If I can grab the deck of cards. Maybe. Not today. Oh my goodness. Probably doesn't want me to talk about the cards. Probably wants me to talk about all this light that's in my head, but we'll get there. All right, we've got this Seven of Wands and Six of Pentacles. Then we've got the Magician and the King of Swords. I told you I picked up on very strong manifestation of mind coming through. And this King of Swords with the Magician is definitely letting me know that you are a powerful manifester and you have mastered your mind, your gnosis, your I am. This is wonderful. We've got this Ace of Cups with the Six of Cups. Okay, so I feel like something is being brought back around and balanced and restored as well. I'm also picking up that you may be coming into some kind of contact. This can be union. It doesn't necessarily have to be love, but I'm definitely picking up on some of you. There is some kind of love that you'll be coming around. You may have manifested a deep emotional connection or a spiritual connection or a soulful connection. I am seeing that you are definitely going to experience a very exciting time. I feel like, it's like I don't know. The way I can understand this energy is essentially you have put some kind of intention and desire out there, and it's coming around, and you're about to meet a very interesting and individual. This is someone you have spent a lot of time with in other lives. So you guys definitely have some history. So that's gonna make this attraction or this pull very magnetic, very intense, very strong. We have 6-6 energy out here. So I know that things are gonna be harmonious, things are gonna be balanced, things are gonna be evenly given. I feel like you have ascended to a higher timeline. I'm feeling a lot of abundance and I'm feeling a lot of love, like a lot of love. That's what's pouring through, and that is wonderful. Love can change and fix pretty much everything that's wrong in the world. So we've got this Six of Pentacles and this Six of Cups, and I really do feel like some kind of connection or something of your past. Now, this doesn't have to be in this life. This could be a past life thing, because I'm really feeling that this is like a soulful quantum level kind of thing coming in. Like you have brought something into this existence by going in within the quantum realm of your inner worlds. So you have secured a new timeline for yourself. And I really feel like you're going to be meeting your soul tribe. You're going to have like very in-depth connections. I feel like there's going to be a lot of growth and expansion for you. We do have the Seven of Wands out here. So that's letting me know that you do have a very strong protection. You have good boundaries put up. I do feel like you have been fortified recently by spirit. I'm feeling a fortification of fire itself. So you may have recently put more intention into your protection, put more energy into your sovereignty or your liberation. I feel like wherever you have been directing your energy has been accurate, on point, and unstoppable. So keep doing that, because you're appearing as a powerhouse right now, like a real magician, a manifested magician. So I see that a lot of things are coming in. You seem to be and kind of like in the reins of this, like you're really pulling in these energies and making it work for yourself, and that is wonderful. Let's see what else spirit would like you all to know in regards to the tarot. I saw the Sun card with the King of Swords at the top and bottom of the deck. So, all in all, I see that, here comes the Sun. I feel like someone has found the land of milk and honey within their mind. Um, Also, there's a piece of information that I'm being reminded of, so I'm going to share this now. Some of you, I don't know. All right, so the way I'm getting this is that Spirit wants me to let someone know out there, because you have been trying to increase your vibration, or something about Christos, or as I recently have said, Christosalization, something along those lines. So the information that I'm being told to share with you is whatever your sun sign is that you were born under. So let's just say you're a Taurus. Your sun sign was born under Taurus. Every month there is about 2 to 3 days where the moon is in Taurus. So for those 3 days, starting like a little bit right before it turns into your sign, and then the 2.5 days or so that it's in your sign, and then the day after, you want to do a full 72 hours. Really, I personally would try to add another 24 hours, maybe a 12-hour before and a 12-hour afterwards, just to give you that extra cushion. Now, during those 3 days, predominantly 3 to 4 days of the month, you need to be clean, completely clean. If you are masculine, be retentive. If you drink or you smoke or you engage in things that are lower vibrational, I would try to refrain from them on those days. Drink lots of water and be very clean. Clear your vessel, be very clean. That's the time. If because all right, basically what's happening is from the time you are born. So let's say you were born at 7 o'clock in the morning and your sun sign is in Taurus. Then every month when the moon is in Taurus at the start of the time you were born by 7 o'clock in the morning, your pineal gland starts excreting milk and honey. It excretes the Christos fluid. That then travels down your spinal cord and goes down your spinal column all the way down. Now, you can accidentally expend that energy before it has a chance to rise back up over the next 3 days. Think about it. Christ rose on the third day. All right. So over the course of those 3 days, be very clean. Do not expend that energy. That's why sexual abstinence, diet, having on a clean energy, fasting, anything along those lines, as long as it's healthy for you. I'm not a medical professional. Do what sounds right for you. Consult whatever you need to be informed of your health. But that would take you to the next level, because if you can starting on from that moment, and you don't have to look at the exact time you were born. If you want to just make it simple for you, the days where the moon is in your sun sign that month, don't fuck around. Don't do nothing. Be clean. Be in tune with spirit. Go to God. Because during that 3 days, you have the opportunity to cultivate that energy that went down from your pineal gland, down your spinal column. And on that third day, it'll rise all the way back up and it'll expand. It'll start crystallizing the crystals outside of your pineal cone, yeah, because it's like a pine cone, your pineal gland. And this will help you increase your energy. Do that consistently every month for a year, and tell me, like, share your feedback on the community. Share if that worked for you. Share what that changed for you, what that did for you. Someone needed to hear that. That's information that sometimes can be like hard to find, and I wanted to simplify it for someone out there because it can be kind of confusing to figure out exactly when that happens, and it seems like it's intentionally hidden, the information. But the way I understand the information is during those 3 days of the month of whatever your sun sign is, when the moon is in your sun sign of that month, be clean. Be clean for a good 3 to 4 days. Allow that Christos to go all the way down your spinal column and go right back up as that 33-degree ascend back into on that third day. That Christos will rise within you, and you will be the Christ rising within yourself. This will increase your vitality. This will increase your strength, your health, your energy. This will obviously crystallize, open, and decalcify your pineal gland. It also clears all of your chakras because it goes all the way down and then back up again. So it descends and then rises. Now that is very cleansing, very purifying. It will open up your chakras, open up your gates. It will help you expand, and it'll help you vibrate at a higher frequency. Also, things like diet and stuff will help you tremendously as well. Okay, so I just felt like someone could use that little bit of information. I felt like that would be beneficial. We've got this Queen of Cups that came out here. We do have full moon of Scorpio out here as well, so we definitely could be talking about a Scorpio or just a water sign, and they don't necessarily have to be either of those things. It's just how the energy is showing up. Yeah, okay, so this individual is not very happy. I don't understand. So there's some kind of karma or fate or yeah, there's a 10 of swords and there's confusion. Why is there confusion? Okay. Can we have a little bit of clarity on the story of this Queen of Cups? So, I mean, this came out during the live, so this must be relevant to someone. I am kind of picking up that you may be a earth sign, a fire sign, or an air sign. This feminine may have like a mix of fire, water, or earth. I'm getting that this might be like a motherly figure for some of you. Actually, predominantly for the majority of the energy I'm picking up, whoever this message for, it is a motherly figure. It doesn't necessarily have to be your mother, but it is a mother. I don't know whether she was a good one or not, but she's not too happy right now. And it seems like there's some kind of potential that is no more. Like she thought there was a potential for something, and she's realizing there isn't. Also, you have very strong emotional boundaries. Something about you having very strong emotional boundaries is kind of having this individual feel a little bit of like emotional lack, or they feel like there's no potential and there's no fulfillment there because your emotional boundaries are too strong. So then what the hell is this individual's intentions then? If that's their mindset, if you having strong emotional boundaries for yourself takes away from the potential of something, what the hell were they trying to go for after? We've got this Two of Cups. So they wanted some kind of relationship. I mean, there is a King of Cups and Queen of Cups. So for some of you, this could be about love. I mean, it is kind of showing up as a bit of a counterpart. But I don't understand why it's not really a counterpart. I mean, we've got the Ten of Cups. So that's what this person was desiring. But you're too strong, or you have protection. Okay, this is interesting. So for some of you, this is a motherly figure that is upset because you have very strong emotional boundaries. And for whatever reason, that allowed this individual to be made aware of the fact that there's no potential, there's no opportunity in some kind of direction with you, and that they weren't going to have some kind of relationship or connection or emotional fulfillment with you. And you know, if you have strong boundaries, that doesn't necessarily mean that a person meant to be in your boundaries can't be. So the fact that this person is feeling that way leads me to believe that this individual at some level knows they're not meant to be in your boundaries. And they see that you know that too. And that's why we have this Seven of Wands. So is this an individual that doesn't come correct? Like they understand that they are not an energetic match to be in your life? Like, yeah. I mean, for some of you, I'm really getting like a dynamic between like a mother daughter or a mother son or a motherly figure, even if it's not necessarily your mother. But I'm picking up that this individual is okay. So like, let's put it this way: if if I was the son or daughter of someone and I understood that my parent was narcissistic, or I understood that my parent wasn't well, or wasn't in alignment with the truth, or wasn't on a true path, or wasn't in alignment with God, or didn't have Christ or love in their heart, or wasn't in alignment to my truths or values, and then that parent understands they're not in alignment with that child or that individual's truths or beliefs or anything. They're not in alignment. They don't even fit it. So like, let's say you have high standards for yourself. You believe very strongly in right and wrong and morally, and like you really want to be integral and be of spirit and be of the truth and be of love and be transparent. But this individual isn't. And this individual understands you see that about them. So they're upset that they're not able to have some kind of connection with you, even though they desire to. Now, I'm hoping that this individual takes this as inspiration and motivation to improve themselves. And I do see a seed of hope in that. I'm not necessarily saying that's the timeline you're necessarily on right now, but whoever I'm talking to, you have shifted multiple timelines recently, and you've seen it in your family, you've seen it in the people around you. You have literally shifted realities. I mean, you can just tell. People are lighter, they're not as lower vibrational. And that was because of the inner work you did. You ascended to a higher vibrational timeline. So, hopefully, this is a seed of growth and improvement for this individual. However, there is an understanding. So I guess someone needs to know that someone understands that in order to come into your energy or space, they have to meet whatever the requirements are. And they understand that right now they don't. And they're upset by that. Okay. Now, that doesn't have to be parental. I was picking up that there was some kind of love situation as well. So this could be, you know, but some kind of relationship between you and another individual. There are a few different energies out here. The first one that appeared was of a parental dynamic. Okay. What else would you like the collective to know? Wow. Okay. You are protected from some kind of projection that took place during this full moon. This most recent full moon. Someone did something with the intention of hate, and you were protected from it. So that needed to be addressed. That was a completely unrelated energy. That I'm not saying that that was related to the message I just channeled. but that did need to come through. There was some kind of intervention on that. Something was blocked. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles. The shit got sent back. Exactly. Judgment. Something was weighed, and it had to be balanced right back out. So, yeah, Ten of Swords. I just split the Ten of Swords, and now there's the Five of Cups. So someone is experiencing a painful ending, some form of emotional grief and loss, because they apparently tried to send some shit out of hate towards you, project it. This was done just recently on this moon. That shit was sent directly back by the divine. There was already a judgment. I feel like this also is an effect of, I mentioned earlier that someone in the collective has recently put more energy into your protection, or you have reinforced your boundaries, and that was effective because you didn't even have to direct this energy. It just bounced off of you. I mean, like, you're like rubber, they're like glue, and that shit just bounced off of you and stuck to them, kind of shit. Like, it didn't touch you, so you're safe on that. And you're free to move forward for whoever that was. They're not going to be able to stop you. Yeah, keep acting out of love, because I saw that Knight and that Ace of Cups try to pop. And now we have this King of Swords coming out here. King of Swords is seems like they might be a little conflicted between their mind and their heart. Why? Okay. So they know that they need to go. So like, a King of Swords has a strategy, has a plan, has a direction. This could be you, or this could be someone else around you. This King of Swords sees the plan, sees the vision, sees the goal, but something don't feel right, or it doesn't feel like the emotions aren't in alignment with the mental. But there is still a progression, but there is this uneasiness during the progression, because it's almost like I'm not as confident in my action or my direction. Am I really seeing? It's almost like feelings are getting in the way of what's obvious or what's true. Like, your mind is telling you this is the right way, this is the path, this is what I need to do, this is how I'm going to get there. But then there's like, yeah, but what if this? And like, I feel like there's like sacral shadow feelings in this, and it's clouding it up a little bit. And like, I still see that this individual is moving forward with this plan, but those steps aren't taken as comfortably. He's uncomfortable with the steps he's taken because his brain and his heart aren't on the same page. Okay, so what was your message about this? Now that I've explained what's going on, Ace of Pentacles reverse. Why is the Ace of Pentacles reverse? Judgment. Okay. Can I get a little more confirmation on this King of Swords intentions before I explain what I'm understanding? Because I don't want to make any claims until I really... Okay, yep, that solved it. All right, cool. So the way I'm understanding this energy is there was an energy of, for some of you, this King of Swords could have been you. You could have been in the energy of you knew where you needed to head, but maybe you weren't feeling as clear, focus, and obvious as your mind is telling you it is, but you are getting there. And the advice for you on that one would just be hold the vision and try to be in confidence, be in alignment with yourself. Use positive affirmations. Tell yourself you're in alignment, you're in harmony, you're in perfect, alignment with your highest good. You're on your highest timeline. You are going to be successful. This is going to work out for you. Now, that is the minority of this energy. The other energy that I'm picking up on is this King of Swords is not you guys. This is someone else around you, your energy in some kind of way. This individual had thought out this plan, this strategy, and has been very methodical and has taken a lot of time to play out this plan or strategy. Now, this individual is emotionally confused or clouded or conflicted. Like, there's a lack of clarity. This individual is like unclear as to why the fuck this ain't working. And I don't know what exactly this individual was trying to do. They were trying to gain. They were trying to gain in some kind of way. I don't have any reason to necessarily believe this individual had bad intentions. However, the one thing that would point towards that maybe something I'm not seeing wasn't quite right is that this judgment is out here with this Ace of Pentacles. I asked, why is the Ace of Pentacles reversed? Judgment. Okay, so there may be something about this individual's alignment or intentions that weren't truthful, weren't transparent. Maybe this is something that you didn't know. Maybe this individual was trying to work with you or work towards you or had some kind of plan or strategy, and they were thinking that there was going to be some kind of expansion and they were going to gain in some kind of way from this. But the judgment is no, this is blocked. And I'm almost kind of getting the energy that it's because Spirit wants you to do this alone for someone. This individual was trying to collaborate or work with you or exchange ideas, wanted to be a part, but Spirit doesn't, for some reason, there's something about their heart, their intentions, their energy. It's not the same vision. They don't hold the same vision in their heart that you do. And that's why the judgment is this Ace of Pentacles reverse. And that's why this person's confused. They don't understand. So they don't have the awareness of self. They don't understand. They're not in alignment with the purpose of whatever this project or mission or idea or business or platform or whatever this collaboration or work is. So I'm picking up whoever this message is for. I almost said mission. So that's another confirmation. This is for someone in the collective that is working on something, and Spirit wants you to work on this, not with this individual. That's why you're getting this energy. And we've got this King of Wands out here at the bottom of the deck, but the King of Wands was way off camera, and that's you, King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Here's the King of Swords. He's got some ideas. He's got a tongue. You know, he's got some words. He's got a mind, but there's something not right. Something's not in alignment, and that's why this judgment it is. So it doesn't matter what this person thinks, sounds good, something's not right. You have the right vision, you have the right passion. That's why you're showing up as the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. You're going to be the one that takes the action. You're going to be the one that makes the path, makes the decision, and accumulate this abundance, this success. You're going to be the one that actually owns this operation or whatever this is. This individual is not meant to have a part in it. And I'm not saying they're a bad person. I'm not saying, it's simply their energy isn't in alignment. You're higher vibrational. It's that simple. Like what you're doing comes from the divine. What they're doing is coming from their mind. Two different things, completely different things. You're channeling from the higher and putting work on the ground in the lower to bring this into reality. I feel like this is some kind of like soul purpose mission. Like you're on a mission with this. You're trying to accomplish something big. This might be bigger than yourself. That might be the reason why there's the energy of someone else even trying to be a part of it, because it might be something very big. And, you know, maybe this person shared good ideas. Maybe this person said some of the right things, but there's something that isn't in alignment with this. And I really do feel like Spirit is not endorsing this contract. They do not have a vote from Spirit. They're saying your guides are advising you to do this on your own. Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck right after this King of Wands. So that's where your success is. Look at that. That's you. Star, the moon, okay? All right. Shoot, it seems like it's like a bag of tricks today. Okay, so Odin is living his best life. All right, what else would you like the collective to know? Oh, Three of Swords, Four of Pentacles. What's that? Oh, the Seven of Swords and damn, we got the whole karmic lineup out here. The Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, which also makes a Ten of Swords. So there's a painful ending out here. There's another sword out here. There's some kind of truth, and there's a little bit of blood from this truth being spoken. So someone might have came to a bit of demise. We have the High Priestess, Temperance, and Hermit with the Queen of Swords. So I'm picking up on the energy of someone in the collective holds the truth. Someone in the collective listens to their intuition. You have very strong abilities and gifts of discernment and awareness. You were very aware. Like, this is dangerous how intuitive and smart the mind, your brain. You're very intelligent. I'm picking up on this. Is reminding me of that reading I did where I was saying something of the lines of like you are extremely intelligent and ascended. I feel like I'm talking to a similar individual in this Queen of Swords right here. Okay, So, and this Queen of Swords can be a masculine. Don't worry. All right. So, anyways, Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, Hermit, and the Temperance. Oh my, is that death underneath the Temperance? That is scary. That's like that's intimidating as hell with the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Like, you do this all on your own. All right. So, the way I'm understanding this is, let's say you had some enemies. Let's say some enemies were effing around, just begging to find out, not knowing what they're about to find out. What your enemies were just begging to find out is that you hold the keys, you are the gatekeeper, you like you are tapped into the divine, you see everything that like you're this is like Hayuka empath with crown of all the stars in heavens. Nothing is getting past that. I feel your energy. For one, I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. I got that yeah, like I feel that shit. You're not lying to me. All right. It doesn't matter what the hell you hide behind, what you put between us, what kind of illusions, what you conjure, what you cast up, what the fuck you say. It doesn't matter. I feel it, bro. You can't lie to my feelings. I feel your feelings. You're not even honest with yourself. I understand what you feel more than you even understand what you fucking feel. So don't come over here and project it and gaslighting me on some projected ass bullshit because you're unhealed and you're unaware of your own damn self. And then try to be an enemy to you? Like, really, motherfucker? Like, I'm trying to serve the divine. Like, I'm out here doing things for the uplift and raise the collective. I'm transmuting all kinds of darkness, pain, and shadow. And you want to come over here and try to project some insecure bullshit on me and try to tear me down, stop me from my divine path? Like, I feel like whoever this Queen of Swords is knows exactly what the fuck is going on. Saw it inside and out, through and through. Saw the whole game before they even took a play. You had that long sight, foresight. Like, this is, you're very tapped in. You might have some very strong gifts and abilities. Your spiritual gifts allowed you to be like a masterful just player of the field, okay? Like, you're just operating in a whole new level, okay? They're playing fucking checkers. You're playing 12D chess. Like 12D chess. Like, you see all the timelines. Quantum reality of level of understanding. You see the omni multi inner outer verse. Like, what? Yeah, bro, come at me. I see all. Like, that's what I'm feeling from this Queen of Swords. So, someone tried to be your enemy, begging to F around and find out. It seems like they're effing around and finding out. And the funny thing is this calm, this this stillness, this deadly silence. Like like, oh my gosh. Have you ever felt that suspense right before death lunges at your throat? I don't know if you've ever been there. I don't know if you've ever seen a cat right before they pounce on their prey. Or a snake gets real still right before it lunges. There's this. I really wish this individual would have seen this coming from a long way, but they didn't. They did not. They tried to be your enemy in some kind of way, and I mean the Temperance, Death, and Eight of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords, like. This is someone that you can't fuck with because they see all realms, they see all truths, they feel your energy regardless. They can probably even think your thoughts for you because they're that damn tapped into the collective consciousness that they're just aware of themselves. Bro, people who really know themselves are dangerous people to try to be an enemy to. And I'm saying someone tried to be an enemy to someone that really knows who the fuck they are. Like, has some very strong, high-level, advanced gnosis, okay? And abilities and awareness. You're tapped in, you know it. You got magician, high priest, high priestess kind of vibes. They effed around, they found out. So, with that Temperance and the Death, I mean, that's just, like, a cold breeze of death coming at your front door with a smile. Just a cold, empty stillness, like, but a warmth and a compassion. Like, that's scary. That's intimidating. That's what someone came up against when they came against you. Okay, wow. All right. So someone basically tried to pick a battle with the Reaper himself. That didn't work out. All right, we've got the Fool and we've got the Four of Swords. So you handled that shit. You put that shit to rest. You moved on. All right, they effed around. They found out. Pretty bad. All right, I don't even want to. I don't even want to know what happened to them. Their karma, what's going on with them, it doesn't even matter. The point is, someone tried it. They effed around. They found out it was bad. It was real bad. You just too much power. Okay, too much light, too much gnosis, too much awareness, too much love. You just can't. When someone really knows what they are, who they are, why they're here, those are not people you want to mess with. All right, so we've got this Four Swords and the Fool. And then the Ten of Swords reverse. Exactly. Someone was trying to cause someone in the collective a tower. Someone was trying to be your enemy. Someone wanted to hurt you, stick you, do something to you, right? You know, whatever. They're a fool. They're whatever. They're a fool. A fool. Okay? And now they about to be on that foo shit because they a fool. So, anyways, you avoided the tower. You avoided it. You navigated it. They try to play checkers with you and hop around and jump over here and and you're playing 12D chess. Like, that's like... You're already aware of that timeline plus this timeline and that timeline. It's like, I see all timelines. It doesn't matter what you do or don't do. I've already seen all the do's and don't do's that you do and don't do because it's already been done. Okay? All right. Past, present, future, it's now. It's all right now. And I'm tapped into the eternal now because I can see. God gave me eyes. God gave me ears and I use them. Don't fuck around with me, please. It'll be the end of you. Well, they wanted it to be the end of you, so they got what they wanted for themselves. All right, moving on. We got the full Four of Swords. You put that shit to rest, and now we got the Sun. You avoided the tower. You shifted the energy. You navigated. You ascended, and you're also, you know, you're teaching some lessons along the way. You pretty much are teaching people karma, but I don't mean that in a... Don't take karma into your own hands. That is awful. Don't do that, okay? That's how you accumulate karma. We do not have to be the deliverers of karma intentionally, but oftentimes we are the catalyst for other people's karma, and, you know, the divine will use us to straight up be people's karma. But notice I said the divine will use us. Okay? All right. What else would you like the collective to know? I was out for a couple days, so it's like I got a little bit of backlog of energy for the collective that needs to come out, and then we'll shift this reading to a bit of a different energy. We've got Strength and the Emperor, and then the Four of Wands. Wow, I like this energy. And the Magician, solid. Good man, good energy. All right, doesn't obviously have to be a man, but... Come on, it's an emperor. Just cut me some slack. It's okay if I address them as a masculine. There's always room for a feminine to be there too in masculine energy, or just showing up very strong. Okay? All right, so Emperor, Strength, and the Four of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. Damn. Okay, so Ten of Pentacles. What's the story here? Like, besides the fact that I'm just supposed to, like, tell you all this amazingness that you are. Okay, that's cool, but, like, is there a plot, a point, a story, a narrative? Or has someone just woken up to the fact that they are a G? Okay. What is that? Let's actually... Oh. Oh, okay. And how did that happen? Oh my gosh. Jeez. I want a little confirmation on this before I speak on it, because I don't want to just, you know, we're innocent until proven guilty, even in tarot. You know, if you're going to read the energy, I feel like it is a bit of your responsibility to understand it a little bit before you speak it, especially in front of a large audience. So just give me one moment. Can I get a little confirmation on this Emperor in regards to the energy that just came out? Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, so I thought this, and that's why I was a little like, that's why I was questioning it. I was like, all right, so what's the plot here? Because you're telling me this is all great energy. Like, oh, we got Strength, we got Emperor, we got Sun, we got this, we got that. I'm like, all right, this all sounds great, solid, strong energy, but where's the catch? You know, why are you telling me all this? Because there's got to be a catch. There's no way it's just, that's the message. And yeah, there was reason to have a little bit of suspicion for it, because that was a previous presentation of someone's how someone has showed up in the world. They previously have showed up as the emperor with the strength, the four wands. They had the stability, they had the home, they had the strong foundations, they had the 10 of pentacles, they had the wealth, they were strong, they had charisma, they had charm, like a real person anyone would want to be, right? I don't know. Maybe this person had a lot of status, a lot of material, a lot of abundance. They had a bit of a reputation. They were liked. They were loved. Everyone loved this person. Everyone would be around them. This is like, wow. And then you find out that they do like really dark, sinister things. Or you find out that, like, I don't know, something like that. I know that took such a quick, dark turn, but that's the energy that came. It was like, okay, so that's how they were showing up, and that's great and all. Yay, woo, all right. But what's the catch? The catch is this individual is about to lose all of that because they have some really nasty skeletons in their closet, and I feel very strongly that an effect of some planetary energies, some bodies, some alignments, some portals, some prayers, some attention, some karma, some universal law, it's time for another stone to be turned because not a single one will be left unturned. And when we lifted this stone, oh, we found some scorpions, some millipedes, some all kinds of like creepy crawlies coming out of this. Ooh, what is this? I thought you were Emperor Strength 4 Wands. Now, what is all this nastiness? Is this you? No. Surely this wouldn't be the charismatic, wonderful, charming of an individual with the house, the money, the cars, the status, the charm, the smile. What do you mean? They do that? They do that much? So someone is being exposed. And I feel like this individual is... For some of you, this is an individual you know in your life, but there's also a bigger energy in this. This is like a global energy. This emperor is someone that holds a seat in the spotlight, in the eyes of the public. This is an individual that is in the eyes of the public, for sure. And they hold some kind of seat of power. They hold some kind of authority. They have... This could be like a celebrity, a politician, an official, someone with a badge. This could be someone that, I don't know, but people know about him. And people thought that this person was a great person, but something is being found out about them. And it's like, it's appalling. Like it's like, I don't know. And I don't want to speak that, but the energy really does feel that dark. Imagine finding out your idol was involved in something disgusting, like one of the worst evils on earth. And you would have never known. But it's about to come out. And this is going to cause a big shift when this truth comes out. This person's going to lose everything. For one, they're going to be persecuted. I do feel that there's a full persecution to the extent of the law. Like, absolutely. Like, I feel like people are going to find this out, and like there's going to be so much anger and upset, and some of the people might want to take things into their own hands when they hear about what this person has done. Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay. So there's going to be a revelation about things that happen behind closed doors, things that happen for money or with money, what money was being used for. Oh, oh. I can't, I really, like, I understand what the energy's trying to tell me. I'm on a public platform. I can't speak that kind of, I don't even want to. So you're just going to have to read between the lines. A person that is well known, that has a reputation and is seen in a certain light, is seen as this wonderful, great thing, an inspiration, an idol, someone people look up to, whatever, and no one knows how dark, evil, and nasty their search history is, or it's not that simple. Trust me, it's way worse. They got their hands on this. They got it's gross. It's really bad. And it's about to be found out. The good thing is the truth is being exposed. Whoever is exposing the truth has protection. Someone is gonna be able to reveal this and not lose their head. So that lets me know, the fact that needed to be specified lets me know that whoever this official person holds a lot of power. This is, I mean, this is like a leader, okay, of a governing energy. And we find out that this leader is involved in some of the most disgusting things that could ever exist in the hearts of man. And whoever knows this is going to be safe to deliver this message or revelation to the people. They're going to be safe and protected, which is good because, I mean, we see that in news all the time. Someone speaks up about something and then just goes missing or has a very suspicious unaliving. Okay, so the good thing is whoever knows the truth and is revealing it about this official person or this public official is going to be protected, and they do have the facts. So there's going to be a tower on a something, something. Okay, I don't know where, I don't know who. I'm not saying names. Mm-hmm. This is part of it, though. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a brief break from the tarot and catch up with all of you because you're wonderful and you shine so bright. And I just love connecting with you. So give me a moment and I will connect with you all in the live chat. Mystic Dragon says, if you're here on this live and you're into this stuff, I recommend reading the first 4 books of the Saint Germain series. It has a lot of data of concerning the ascension path and process. I appreciate you sharing that valuable information. I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of it. I apologize that me reading the comments probably isn't the most entertaining thing, so I apologize for that and I appreciate your patience. Ancient Ankh said 144,000 mirror neurons make it like a fractal. Yes, in heart and brain. Merlin's crystal cave. Yes, the pineal. The cave is the mind, the skull. The crystal is the little crystal ball in the center of our skull. Okay. All right. Thank you all for. Oh my goodness, what has just happened? Okay, nothing. All right. Sorry, I'm not tech savvy, as many of you probably already know that about me. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the other things that are going on. I mentioned that I had a lot of crazy downloads, which is part of the reasons why I had a brief absence. That and I travel. I have to drive a lot because I got things going on in my life. But besides all that, so we understand that we have been at war. We understand we have been at war of the light and the dark. Now, some people will even say that this has been a galactic war, a war that has gone on for a ridiculous amount of time. Like, I don't even feel like putting a number on it. A lot of people understand that the Earth realm was enslaved by a darker consciousness, a consciousness that does not mean us well, one that lacks empathy, one that is very good at mastering frequency, energy, and really good at fooling people and manipulating and using things like fear and tactics to control the masses. Okay, so I don't even know where to start on all this because I guess I could just start by sharing some of the things I saw. I saw Palladian ships on Earth chasing out reptilians. I saw Palladian ships going towards an area of 5 and 1. I saw Pleiadian ships like basically what I saw was like an entire fleet of command. Like I saw the entire Earth surrounded by all kinds of galactic beings. And the up close visions I saw were specifically, and I think I was because I was probably receiving a transmission from a Pleiadian, and that's probably why I was picking up on specifically the perspective of a few different Pleiadians during this act. Now, the reason why I'm able to speak about this is because this has already passed and it's not affecting any operations because the light has won. So, there were many operations to remove because we had reached a point in time in the collective where about 30 or so percent of the collective had at some point in time had it in their heart and intention in meditation or in prayer and asked for some form of liberation or freeing or help with the enslavement and the just the wrong of the world, okay? And this allowed because there's rules, there's laws, there's things set in place, and this allowed a lot of beings to actually enter our realm and intercede and help and actually get on the ground and do things. Now, when I say war, please look like please understand the extent of what war can be, and this is a war that has gone on for an extremely long time. Now just look at Earth history and Earth wars. We have things like espionage, spies, informants. We have things like double secret agents. We got people that are implanted inside. So like, if you understand that's how we play war, how do you think the light and dark played that shit? Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing up that point is because, oh my gosh, many of the public figures are actors and clones. Okay? This could all start sound fucking crazy. So what there are you familiar with the term walk-in? There is a term called walk-in, and what this means is, let's say a individual incarnated in Earth realm and they lived a very hard life. And by the time they were in their 20s or 30s, their soul was tired. Their soul had had enough. They had just been beat up and tormented, and there are instances where a higher self or a soul can check out in the middle of the incarnation without the physical avatar dying, right? And this allows an opportunity for a spirit or a soul to make a contract with the divine to be a walk-in. So they would then walk into that vessel, and now that vessel, that avatar, is carrying a completely different spirit. We also can understand that there are things like entity attachments. Souls and avatars can be incarnated by a soul, and that soul might not even realize that there are entity attachments to that spirit. This is what the cults, like the Masonic cults and the black magic, a lot of that is using conjuring magic. That's what a lot of it is based off of, is they want to lower your vibration so that way they can conjure up a dark entity and attach it to you. This is why we see things like mental illnesses and poverty and lack and things like that. That's how these cults work. That's one of the ways. So if we understand all these pieces, I gotta like, because my understanding is a lot to try to cover in a short amount of time. So if we understand that there's things like walk-ins, if we understand that these bodies are avatars, okay? These are just avatars. These are just holographic vehicles of biology. It's a miracle, all right? So if we understand that a soul can check in and out of an avatar without that avatar necessarily having to be death or birthed. Okay. We also understand there are clones. We've known about this. That science has been out there for a while now. We understand that there are clones. We understand there's a lot of hidden technology. Okay. We understand we were at war. So just imagine for a second, humor me, the idea of there being intergalactic moles. Like, okay, so let's say what we all perceive to be a world leader in an organization of land and power. We believe that person runs the show. Okay, and let's say that person did or not, whatever. That's just an avatar. Okay, the vessel you're seeing is an avatar. Now that avatar could be a holographic projection. We know they did that with the Pope. It could be a clone. They could have made a clone of, we don't know, and there's genetic defects in that, and that can cause people to, yes. Stop, can you stop interrupting me, please? Because you're confusing me and I'm breaking my train of thought.
Sorry, I didn't do that. I thought I gave you that.
Yes, you can look up videos and see where they proved that some of the sightings of the Pope were actually holographic projections. Okay, so now that we understand that can be proven and you can find that out there. Jeez, do you remember what I said before you did that?
Before I gave you that book?
Yeah, before you just completely interrupted my train of thought. No, you're okay. Just do you remember what it is? No? Okay, I'll try to figure it out. Okay, clones and avatars. All right. All right, so walk-ins, avatars. Let's say that a public official, their spirit was a reptilian. Let's just say that, for example. There was an avatar, and that avatar was a public official, and everyone knew that that person was supposed to be a world leader. Let's say that the spirit that was embodying that avatar was draconian or reptilian and had a dark agenda. Okay, let's say that avatar had a near-death experience. I can't say names, all right? I can't. So let's just say the avatar of that public official had a near-death experience. Let's say at a moment in time, there was a window of time where, let's say, a Pleiadian fleet commander or someone of a Council of Light or a Federation or of some kind of like galactic force of light was able to be a walk-in on that avatar and then go undetected by the other Draco and reptilians that are a part of all of this, and they don't even realize that the avatar is no longer being embodied or inhabited by the hive-minded, dark, nefarious agenda. It has now been walked in by a being of the light that is aware, because they have an advanced consciousness. They don't experience the same things that a lot of us experience when we are born and go through amnesia, and a lot of that's being fixed anyways, because that was a part of attacks and everything else going on. Okay, so let's say that a public official really was a individual that had bad intentions for us, really was part of a dark, nefarious group and agenda, was a puppet and an actor of a show and a scheme that was very dark and used to control us and enslave us. Let's say that the members that worked with that public official could not recognize that the spirit that is embodying that avatar or that clone or that, and the reason why I specify clone is because it's a lot easier to do what I just said about, let's say, a spirit of light made a contract and then was able to be a walk-in of a vessel, of an avatar, of a public leader. If that public leader is a clone, it's a lot easier to do that than if that avatar was of a natural born avatar, because the intertwine of the what is that called, Mobius strip, and the DNA it's a deeper connection because God did stuff right. Okay, cloning is flawed in so many ways, at least the form that's being used, because it has genetic effects. Anyways, so let's say then that a public official now is undercover. This public official was a reptilian spirit, but then the reptilian spirit checked out of that body during a near-death experience or something, and in that time, another spirit jumped in that avatar and then went undercover, and now is pretending to be the reptilian in that avatar, but is actually of the Council of Light, and is waiting for the right time to. All right, so that was part of it. That was part of this whole massive operation of how the light won. There were things like walk-ins. There were things like plants. There were informants. There were individuals. Like, for example, I made a statement in a live or something I did where I had voiced that not all Dracos or reptilians are necessarily dark or evil. And I even said that I'm pretty sure I have incarnated as a Draconian before. It was one of my first communications I had with Andromeda. They were showing me some things. And someone had used that as a way to say that I was a dark individual because I admitted that I was incarnated as a Draconian. That was leverage to prove that I am a dark individual and that my practice and my work is fake and false, and that I'm a false prophet or false light, whatever, whatever they could do to try to like say that I'm of the dark. And here's the thing though. Let's just hypothetically say I was incarnated as a Draconian in the past. What if the reason why I have that incarnation is because I was on a secret mission for the divine to be a co-op agent in the shadow? Like, we've seen it in Earth. Is it really that far-fetched to believe that we did that in the higher realms too? That we had secret agents of the light and dark trying to gain information? And I mean, it's war. We do that shit. That's what happens. It's so... That was part of it. We had these walk-ins, we had plants, we had informants, we had individuals that were in the enemy camp that were believed to be an enemy but weren't the enemy. All right? All right. So some of the other things that happened was a lot of things were deactivated. There was a lot of weaponry that was going to be used against us. Some of that is laser technology that is already out in orbit in outer space. It was disguised as other things like telescopes and stuff like that, but it was using weaponry-based technology, and it was just sending it out there so they could use it against us. Some of the things that was for was things like Project Bluebeam and such. So there was a lot of dismantling of weapons that took place. So this is weapons that were in orbit outside of the planet, and these are also weapons that were on our planet, as well as under the ocean. There were a lot of underwater ginormous silos at the bottom of the ocean that have a type of weapon that's horrible, right? So those were dismantled. Those were all shut off. Part of this was done, like I said, by walk-ins. Like, imagine one of those walk-in scenarios was to an official who held one of the keys to a launch code. And that was in a governing body that was predominantly ruled and dominated by Draco reptilians. And right, so we had a being of light jump into an avatar and be a secret agent, acting like as if they're that same individual that's on the same agenda. They're not. And as soon as they gain access to something important, they destroy it, or they dismantle it, or they break it, or they did something. This is how this has been going on. This has been going on behind the scenes for the past years. People have been distracted by everything else that's been going on, but what's really been going on is we've been at war. We've just done a very good job at keeping it at level peace, so that not everyone freaks out or knows what's going on. So there were weapons that were being destroyed. We had secret agents. We had all of this stuff going on. There were fleets on, like what I saw was I saw teams of different races on Earth, on the ground, in ships, doing all sorts of operations. They were even working with human organizations. Okay, so there are even governing bodies of the light that are human that know of this war and have been in contact, in combat, active contact with these races, with these beings. Okay, so I saw in my mind, I saw humans in armed forces that were of the light and in some kind of knowledge and awareness of what's going on. They were not being ruled by the I can't say the whole word, so I'm gonna just say Abal or the other deep status of power. I'm on a platform that's it's really easy to talk about this and then just your whole everything gets shut down. So trying to avoid that, but also get the truth out there. Um, shoot, I need to breathe. There's so much information. I saw teams of men, of humans, actually in active combat with reptilians chasing them out. They had there were certain operations, like Operation Tin Can was one that was shared with me, and it was about these underground hives, reptilian hives, and they were actively shooting, like the real combat. Okay, now we also have had an advancement of technology that is being used against these beings, or was used against these beings, that is very effective. A type of EMP grenade type thing. It when reptilians are near this device, it like freezes them basically, which is great because they can't move. And there's been some other ones I can't share too much, and I can only share what I've been told I'm allowed to share, and I was told so much, so it's really hard to try to keep this all linear and in a flow. So just forgive me if I'm all over the place and manic with it. So we've had those go on. So there were ones, and then I even saw, so there were missions where it was just humans going in. And so there's governing bodies that are not ruled by the dark forces, and some of these were working in. I literally saw human armed forces working side by side with Pleiadians on Earth, going on missions to take out these underground tunnels, to take out these hives, to secure. I almost said a word I couldn't. And some other things. So we had to get rid of their money. We had to get rid of their power. We had to infiltrate. We had to get we also distracted them as well. We played this so well. The plan and strategy was just played flawlessly. And basically, a long story short, the light has overwhelmed the dark so much to where the dark has been in fear and backed in a corner and trying to escape. I saw ships of light. So, like, let's just say, I'm gonna just stick with Pleiadian because of this dream or this vision. It was a Pleiadian ship. This Pleiadian ship was chasing reptilians and draconians that were trying to leave Earth realm through ships, and they weren't allowed to leave. Like there was an agenda of them trying to go to Mars, so that way they can start that whole bullshit again, which they've already done that once. That's where they came from last time. That's why that shit is destroyed and high and all kinds of things, because you could tell there was a certain kind of war that uses a kind of like atomic radioactive weaponry, if you know what I'm talking about. Completely decimated that whole planet. So there was an agenda of some of these little pockets trying to go into hiding. They ran underground. They ran into these other like hives and these other places that they have built all throughout the Earth. And some of them even tried to leave. They tried to leave Earth. They tried to travel to, and this is, oh, it was sick how they were going to do it. They were going to manipulate the people to manifest the portal for them to leave our realm so they could do this shit all over again. But we stopped it. We closed portals. We stopped spacecrafts. We shut down weapons. We infiltrated bodies of power. We shut shit down. We chased them out. We wouldn't let them leave. We had them by their throat. Like, I'm telling you, we won this fucking war. Nothing left, nothing like, and so basically this is what happens. So if you want to know like what's the end of the road for them, of these dark individuals, well, all right, so there were casualties, obviously. So there was just some that just lost their life in combat, obviously, because it's war. Okay, so there were others that tried to flee And there were others that actually, when it got towards the end, where they were all like cornered and trapped and trying to flee the earth or go underground or do whatever, and they weren't because we were already on top of that shit. We done closed portals. We chased our ships are faster, better, stronger. Like we had a whole fleet. Like, let's put it this way: the Pleiadians alone probably could have done a lot of what was accomplished by themselves, but it would have exhausted all of their resources and probably came with a lot more casualties. But because there were so much galactic help, I mean, races and beings we have never heard of, we've never seen before, we have been completely surrounded, all hands on deck to save Earth, to free the humans from the enslavement of this darkness and evil for good. All right? They've been ruling for like a good 6,000 years. It's time for that shit to stop so we can keep ascending for the next 6,000 years because we're in a completely new age and era and cycle. All right, so I think, oh yeah, I was going to say if you wanted to know what the end of the road was. Well, for some of them, they actually turned themselves in. Some of them realized they had lost, and they actually turned themselves into the councils and the lights and the armies and the fleets and stuff that were in place. And they were actually given an opportunity. If you want to know the truth, yes. Some of these beings were given an opportunity to choose the path of love. They were then given the ability to feel empathy. They obviously have a lot of karma ahead of them, but they were given a chance to choose love and eventually ascend to be a sovereign creator being. Obviously, they have a long path and road ahead of them, but there were individuals that were given that opportunity. Now, others, if they were weighed, we understand, like in Egypt and Atlantis, we were told about our hearts being weighed, and we understand that. If it was too much, they got recycled into source. They were no longer an independent consciousness. They were recycled right back into source. It was too heavy. It was too dark. And many individuals may have noticed, without knowing any of this stuff was going on, may have noticed that a massive change in our frequency had gotten lighter. And it was because of what was going on behind the scenes. There was so much stuff going on, chasing these energies out, liberating the people. This is a great war of Earth's freedom. Like in 100 years from now, okay? About 100 years from now, give or take, but I'd say that's a fair guesstimate. About 100 years from now, so let's say a year 2125 or whatever. They will be teaching about this time to the new Earth, new realm, new schools. Now, if you want to have a little bit of an idea of what that looks like, imagine a class that is taught by, word of mouth and telepathy and light language. So it's communicated. We have an instructor, we have a teacher. And imagine this classroom is filled with brothers and sisters and children from all across the stars and heavens. We have Venusians sitting right here. We've got Lyrans sitting here. We've got Arcturians. We've got Andromedans. We've got Earthlings. We've got a Reptilian sitting right there. They're all in the same room learning in this class. It's kind of like the Martin Luther I Had a Dream, except for we're taking it galactic at this point. Now it's not just about what that was. We've done bringing it all together, all the races, all of it. Like the Earth is going to be restored back to Eve, back to its intergalactic hub. That's what we're on our way to. And we have done a lot of work in securing this fight. A lot of timelines have collapsed. We have secured some of the best timelines possible. We've really accomplished, like, there were some of these missions that were being shown to me had like less than a 10% chance of even achieving the timeline where it was a success. There were losses. There were. All of this was going on behind the scenes. It's so crazy what was going on, and we just have no idea. We really don't. How much was involved to liberate ourselves, to free ourselves. We have been at war, and this war has been won. The light has won. And you may notice that there's more peace. There's more joy. It's lighter. Now, I know you may be looking at some of the things going on in the media and the news. Hey, I didn't say everything was completely done, but believe me, like we've got him backed into it. Like it's done, And past, present, and future is also, I'm kind of speaking timelessly as well, which is good because it helped speak in the existence of that reality. Okay, yeah, that was a lot. I'm gonna take a quick moment to sip this tea and check on the chat. I hope you all are doing well. Queen the Empress says love always wins, and that is exactly the point to all of this. Nick said, we are working on rebalancing Earth with all the Earthians so as the planet doesn't spin off axis. Well, we are also going through the pole shift, and we're bringing it back to the restorative perfection, back to 7D. I know a lot of people think New Earth is 5D, New Earth is 5D, and like, yeah, it is 5D, but it's really 7D. And it's also not new. It's been here this whole time. Kat said the planet was also falling outside the Goldilocks zone. They are still inhabited. Venus will be New Earth. That would be beautiful. I don't know if I'd want it to be New Earth. I think I just want it to be Venus, though. Because I like Venus. Why has it got to be Earth? Why we got to screw up Venus and make it Earth? Nunya Beeswax said yes, and some of our military has been removed from these operations that are currently going on. Yeah, like I said, I gotten a lot of information. I tried to share as much of it as safely as I could to kind of paint the picture of what all is going on. I can't say names, I can't say too much, but it's crazy. It's wild. Frenchie said, "Can we just send all these efforts to Mars with?" And I'm not gonna say the name, but he's an intelligent man whose name starts with E, and it rhymes with on. It's funny. Yeah, pretty much anyone that talks about wanting to go to Mars, I would look at him a little, discernment. Why are you trying to go to Mars, bro? What are you? But no, that's what they wanted. I understand where you're coming from. Send them all to Mars, but that's what they want. They want to go back over there and then do this whole damn enslaved planet thing all over again. Like, no, we're just basically what's going to happen is they've already been quarantined. They've already been trapped. We've already been chasing them out. The light has been chasing out the shadow. And, you know, they have a couple options. They can either choose love, they can either make the contract with divine to choose a path of love and go through a long path of, you know, doing all that, or they can be recycled. There's not a third option. You either match the vibration or you die. I know that's a strong like statement, but you can kind of see that happening in nature if you look at like with how Earth has been ascending very quickly, and then we just had like mass things just dying off and not making it. If you can't make the shift, you just won't be here. So they don't really have that option. They would love to, I'm sure, for us to just quarantine them over there so they can try to start that whole agenda all over again, but no. Fool me once, and yeah, you know how the rest of that goes. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said those exact words, Kaylin. Separating the wheat and the chaff, and that's exactly what's happening. And you know, the harvest of the crop will be spared. Everything else will be burned. That must have been hard to surrender. Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine being a being that like you don't feel empathy, you don't feel compassion, you operate very differently. You're a master at manipulating energy and frequency and like you have to, you know? But I mean, like I said, there's reptilians that have the ability to have compassion. There are some that were given that ability by the divine. Not all of them want, you know. I mean, geez, it's kind of like, do you blame a whole country, every single civilian of a country, for the nasty, awful thing their world leader did? Because that's not fair. I mean, we could go back to some of the awful like genocides that took back on Earth. It wouldn't be fair to like hold. Not everyone had that in their heart, but it definitely happened on Earth. Ricky said recycled. Yikes. Yeah. Um, that's literally. I mean, if you, it's similar to what happens on the horizon line of a black hole, where light just gets stripped down all the way down to like tachyons, essentially, and then just scattered back. It's similar to that. It's like a step above that. It's like that plus death. But the good thing is, source is love. So, you know, in one way, I'm sure that is terrifying because, like, your entire being just ceases to exist. You no longer are conscious of yourself. Like, you no longer are a creator being. You no longer are a being. You just aren't. But at least you return to source. And source is love. So, I mean, at least it's not like a whole lot of pain and suffering. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there are some karmic debts that need to be paid. And believe me, there are individuals that are going to be paying those karmic debts. I'm just curious when all this is like broadcasted live. I feel like it's soon. It's got to be. I mean, we're right on track. We're actually ahead of schedule, really. So I'm curious when all this is like released. And I've picked up on an energy in a reading, and I think it was the one where I mentioned like there's a Starman or something. Like I really feel strong that there is something that wants to reveal the truth. And a lot of it is because I mean, shoot, just look at this channel. There's I don't know, like maybe 200-300 people in the live chat or something like that right now, and I mean, just the fact that there's that many people all in one space on a similar track of consciousness, like that shows growth in the collective. That didn't happen 20 years ago. So, and I mean, we are the ones that made this possible because we had it in our heart to be freed. That no one was going to save us, right? Now, we did have some assistance, and you bet your ass there were a lot of fighting, a lot of intervention, and a lot of, boots on the ground. But it was up to us, like at first. They couldn't do that without us making the decision to be free. Raylan Williams said, sorry, I didn't mean to throw your first and last name. Jeez, and it's live. I can't even cut that out. I'm sorry. Raylan said, many will return to source, so many. Though we have won the war, I bet there is still cleanup. And that's why I'm glad you brought that up, because we have won the war. And I know, like, some people might be able to turn on Channel 10 or Fox or CNN and be like, no, you haven't. We haven't won the war. This shit's going on. I'm like, all right, that is like, if you understood what had to be to, like, we were at the risk of being annihilated, like, just complete, like, we were going to end up looking like Mars does. That got stopped. Like, there was an objective and a list of priorities, and we accomplished the really big ones. Okay, we stopped a lot of we freed a lot of children. We stopped a lot of the tunnels. We stopped a lot of the eating of people. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, we stopped that. So, like, I know you might be like freaking out about, like, there might be a paid actor lying on national TV still. But we took care of some of the more important stuff that needed to be addressed, like people eating people, okay, and people being trafficked underground. Like, that needed to be addressed, and that's been addressed, and there's a lot with it. But the good thing is, no stone was left unturned. I really appreciate you, Nita Chrissy. Said, go, it's time. Spirit said it's okay to speak on this now. There are plenty of people right there with you, been understanding this for a while. And I really appreciate you, and I love you too. So I'm grateful for that statement, because I kind of took a little bit of a leave of absence after getting all these downloads, because I'm like, all right, am I allowed to talk about this? Is it safe for me to talk about this? How are people even going to respond? Like, for me to just sit here and boldly claim, like, yeah, there's public officials that have had walk-ins from Palladian soldiers of a galactic army, and have infiltrated and gotten keys to dismantle weapons of mass destruction and clear out. Like, how the fuck do I just sit here and say something like that? Like, that's bold as hell. But I appreciate that. So thank you. Lighter after the eclipse back in April. So much happened. Oh my gosh, so much happened. And there's still a lot going on. Like, it's not, the show's not over. And I guess a way to understand, how do you mean the battle, the war's over? Like, we've won the war, but there's still, well, I mean, look at history. Look at shoot, I'm not a history buff, so don't beat me up if I'm wrong. Was it the Civil War in America? There was a treaty that was already signed, but there were still battles and fighting going on for weeks, and I believe even longer than weeks, until people even got the memo that, hey, we joined forces, or we signed a treaty, or we're not fighting anymore. So war was won, but there were still weeks and weeks of battles taking place in the South for a while. So, and not just the South, but I live in the South, so that's why I'm aware of that part. But anyways, yeah, that's a good way of explaining it. There's a lot of cleanup to do. There may be a few little battles here, but we've accomplished the big shit. Okay, I mean, basically, they were trying to do to us what they did to the Greys, and by they I mean the Draconians, the dark agenda Draconians. Okay, which is unfortunately was the majority of them. Um, so if we look at some of the things that they've been doing to our food, to our air, to our water, and if you look at some of the like census and over time, we have seen that fertility has gone down in humans. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because what happened to the Greys was they were enslaved by the Draconians. Now, obviously, not every single, but there was a huge mass collection of Greys that were enslaved by the Draconians because the Draconians took away their ability to reproduce. So the only way that their species could survive was by cloning. And the Draconians were masters at this and did this and destroyed their ability to reproduce. So it was like, all right, you either do what I tell you or your entire species dies because y'all don't have the ability to fucking make babies anyways because I done ruined your shit through degrading of your DNA. And that's what they were trying to do to humans. That's one of the things they were trying to do was make us sterile, make us infertile, make us... Why do you think in the Bible it says be fruitful and multiply? Why do you think, like, on, what was that, the Georgia Guidestones or something, where it was, like, keep the population under, like, 300, like, some fucking ridiculous, like, there's some wicked-ass agendas going on out there. And a lot of people don't realize what was going on. Like, I'm just glad the light came in. I'm glad enough people prayed. Because that's what this is, we had to pray. We had to be aware because they can't interfere with free will and destiny, but it was our will. It was in our will for something to help us. It was in our will for this to stop, for there to be intervention, for there to be a liberation and a freeing. And that's why it took place. That's why it took place. Gaia sent out that signal back in like the 1900s, and then, you know, we came in and, you know, we are the grand solar flash. I also want to point that out. A lot of people are waiting for something. I don't know why the fuck you're waiting for anything, like waiting for a return or waiting for a grand solar flash or what. No, nothing outside of yourself is going to occur. Now, there will be a return of something. Sure, there will be a grand solar flash. We've been in it for like the past while. Like we've been experiencing it. But it's us. We pick up our torch. We rise. Our light ascends. And enough people did that. Enough people did that, and we won this massive war. And I know, like, right now, we're still in 2025, and my awareness is a little bit beyond 2025. So we still got some time for some things to play out, and I am not a time traveler, so by no means don't ask me who to bet on in the next years. I don't know. But we'll just have to see how it all plays out. The good thing is a lot has been done. We've overcame a lot of this battle, and it's beautiful. Claudia said, yes, he's getting the truth. I told you we won. Booyah. Shifters not allowed. We closed the gate. True, loyal God bless us all. Who helped? Oh my God. You got weighted on that huge scales. I just went last week. It was a lot. There was so much involved. Like, I can't wait for... This is going to be a movie, too. I can't wait for this movie to come out. They're going to make a movie of this shit. And it's kept secret. It's kept hush-hush. We're not allowed... Like, it's intentionally... Like, no one knows who's working on it. But there's people that know. And And I know that there's going to be a movie about this being made, and it is currently under works, but it's being hidden, obviously, because I mean, you can't tell people that you're working on producing a big disclosure Hollywood film like that. You would probably go missing. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the disclosure and the revelation. And, you know, the world is shifting and a lot of people are being freed. I mean, we've had a lot of collapses of things and a lot of people have had to shift their lives and the way they did things just to survive. And there may be still more of that to come. Phoenix said, Heaven and earth shall come back together as intended from the beginning. Yes, so we are returning back to the garden. We have chased out the fear. We've chased out the... I mean, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that still need to wake up. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that still don't know the truth or still don't know all of this, but we've made a lot of progress. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop sitting here and just chatting. Let's go ahead see if there's any other messages the divine would like you all to know. We're gonna close that out. I think we're good there. Yeah. So some other things to share along with this is I have been spreading the message about how right now, live on Earthrealm, there are many gods and goddesses and beings and star seeds and ascended masters, and there's a lot on here. Like, I really do feel like there's probably more of that than there are even native human souls incarnated on Earth at this point. We've probably outnumbered. I mean, we filtered in like crazy. We responded to that distress signal Gaia sent out, and everyone came. Shoot, a lot of people came. So, I'm getting that there was something that was unlocked in the grid a while ago, and it wasn't spoken. No one said anything about it. It was just silently unlocked. And some time has passed now, and it's just been allowed to be active. It's accessible. It's there. And many of you may be waking up to a new kind of magic. It's not new, it's Atlantean. But I'm getting that there is a light, there's an energy, there's a way of being a magician that is now live in the collective grid. And I feel like this was something that was locked away in crystals and gates and keys, and it's been activated. Happy, 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 the truth be told. Okay? Serendipity, look at that. We have serendipity, truth be told, happy, happy, happy. And we've got this soulmates out here. And this is the other big part of this. So now it's time for unions and being fruitful and multiplying and rebuilding and restructuring. And I see that life on Earth is really heading towards a much more beautiful... I mean, look, the technology that's about to come out is going to be really exciting. I mean, there's no reason why we should be limited the way we are. We've had free energy for a ridiculous amount of time. The med beds have been discovered like since before 2000. Even just as humans, I mean, we've had... I mean, shit, what do you think most of the UFOs that people see on the news are? It's just government technology, usually, because it's part of the Blue Beam operation to promote fear. Most of the weapons that they were creating wasn't to protect us from... They knew that a galactic army was coming for their ass. Whatever. We dismantled it. because they couldn't handle it. Oh, that was someone just mentioned they hear your thoughts. I think it was Ariel. Hi, Ariel. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Um, and so I mentioned some of the technologies that we had developed, humans had developed, because I had mentioned that there were some governing bodies, some armed human forces that were actively a part of these missions and going on these operations to secure the light and liberate our people. And one of the things that we came up with, because one of the annoying things that reptilians can do is they can read our thoughts and manipulate energy. Um, we had developed a helmet that blocked them from doing that. So we had like electronic like EMP type grenades that like froze them and stopped them so they couldn't move, made them immobile. We had helmets that protected us from their ESP, telepathy, and manipulation. Um, there was words that were given to us like by Atlantean high priest that have very powerful energy behind them that allow the presence of the unseen to be revealed. Some of these words were actually subliminally included in music and artwork and went under the radar. So a mass portion of collective were actually receiving subliminals of this word, and their subconscious was hearing it, and it was causing a lot of people to see the truth. And that's why a lot of people were reporting seeing things, and we saw a massive increase in sightings and stuff like that. That was part of it. Just a small part of it, but yeah. There's a lot of like fun energy in this too, like just to kind of dive around in it if you're connected to this information and just kind of explore it. And there's some really cool things about it. The hybridization is really cool. How they've so one of the ways that we were at a disadvantage against the reptilians, and especially like physical combat, is because they have an inhuman amount of strength. Okay, they are very physically strong. I could even tell you some names that would blow your mind and also make sense, but I can't. So whatever. It's not on this platform, I guess. Eventually, free speech will be here. So I just it's hard sometimes to stay on track when I'm all over the place. But they had. And so let's say reptilians have the ability to master frequency and energy, and um, they have a ability to manipulate energy. They're very advanced at manipulating energy, and they're very strong. So we actually created hybrids of humans and reptilians. Now the difference is these hybrids still had the ability to have empathy, still had some of the other traits that humans have, because humans are very unique. Okay, now not all of us has been unlocked. Like we're OG in some ways. Okay, so anyways, there were hybrids of this, and this allowed us to level the playing field, because then we started having abilities. And it's interesting because a lot of healers, very powerful healers, are hybrids and don't realize it, and that's why they have these like extreme gifts of working this magic and manipulating the energy, and they don't even realize that they may be, I don't know, a Pleiadian starseed who imprinted their Pleiadian / Syrian soul onto a body that was a hybrid of human and reptilian. So then they come in with this high vibrational light and then this unique gene expression that gives them these abilities, but they're not karmic, they're not low vibrational, so they're not going to use it for the wrong, and it helped level the playing field. Quantum healing is going to be more relevant and readily available, and some technologies are going to be coming out to be making that more readily available. Modes of transportation are going to be changing. There are like hover bikes and hover cars that's already been out for years, believe it or not, and they work off water. Just water. You charge it up for like an hour and you can zip around. Fast as fuck, boy. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you can go up in the air with them. They're pretty cool. I've been getting a lot of downloads of stuff. It's wild, some of the things Spirit have been showing me. So definitely, if you want to know anything, go within. Go within. It's all within us. Just seek God, seek within, and you'd be surprised what kind of revelations you can discover or will be revealed to you. Someone said, by the way, I know who the producer of the movie is. That's pretty cool that you have the opportunity to know that. I'm just reading on the live chat. I apologize. Not really, because I like reading the live chat, but I know that doesn't always make it the most entertaining to watch later. Thank you so much, Mark. Oh, wow. Thank you. God bless you. May that come back to you sevenfold. Kim said, haha, I hear voices every day. My angels and demons keep me pretty busy. That is relatable. Cat09 tells CIA remote viewing program, Men Who Stare at Goats, real. Yes, Operation Stargate. And there's some things that have been, if you can look into that, there's been some things that have been declassified where they visited specific planets. They visit, I mean, even spots on Mars. There's even one where they remote viewed to a specific location on Mars that NASA refused to visit anymore after they hooflawed on a failed cover up that everyone could clearly see was like CG'd. And there was some interesting reports in there, and that there were actually beings that were still there underground. That was part of the report. I didn't go there. I don't know. I didn't see the beings still underground, so I'm not saying that is the truth. But I mean, the government did. Ancient Og said, "If your eyes are ringing, we have a problem," and that's hilarious. I think someone earlier said something about their eyes and ears ringing or aluminum blocking that. I don't know if they meant to say their eyes were ringing, but that's funny. Would the embodied know they are ascended, or would there be an awakening process as if they were natural born? Is it the same either way? All right, subtle fire. I want to answer your question, but I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about. Are you asking about when I was talking about walk-ins earlier, or are you talking about when I was talking about hybridization? If I see your confirmation, I'll revisit it. Ariel said they never made it to the moon. Thank you so much, Cosmic Waters. I really appreciate you. Hmm. Ariel said trying to back engineer a ship got them blown up a few times. There's a few funny things that have happened. I can't wait till full disclosure. Like, can we just please like have 100% transparency? The people need to know this. They found the blood type and they know who. You can know a lot about an individual by their eyes and their blood type. Just that first impression, their eyes. I mean, there's a reason why they say the eyes are a window to the soul or whatever they say. I'm just glad you're telling the truth of this hidden mess. Thank you, Nunya Beeswax. I appreciate it. I never really know how this is going to be received, how people are going to take it. Like, I don't know. I know to some it might seem crazy, some of the things that I stated. And believe me, I didn't really cover everything I could have. There's just too much. But I mean, that's how downloads are. If you receive downloads, you'd understand. Like you can like literally receive the entire like Bible in a singular word. And it could take you forever to decode all the information that was packed into that little data packet of light. Ancient Ox says they can shapeshift using and altering their image through magnet variance. Ariel said the Gov got played. Literally, that's the funny thing. That's so funny. Like all of it. When I was being revealed some of the cosmic divine plan and the way it was playing out, it was like we had the dark fooled this whole time. The whole time. And if you look at scripture, we'll know that. And I know like it's kind of seems silly. Why would that be a surprise if we know that's the word? But it's still funny to really see like we had them fooled. We had them thinking it's gonna be this, but it was really this. We had them focused on trying to stop this when really it was this that we needed to worry about, but we didn't like it was so funny. 10 out of 10. One of the best this is gonna make a great movie. Great book series, a great TV show. I mean, this is like we are in the times right now that are going to be taught as the Great War of Freedom, like the Great Awakening, the Great Ascension. This hasn't happened before. Miss Grizz says, I just don't like they can all read my mind and put nasty thoughts and projections in them, and then they all read my. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of shit is that? Yeah, and they can. The reptilians really do have that ability to read your thoughts and actually project thoughts into. And this is how a lot of people like who struggle with what is that? Compulsive thinking? I don't think that's the right word. Intrusive thoughts. I think that would be a better word for it. Yeah. People who struggle with intrusive thoughts and that can lead to like mental health issues. I mean, you know, is that archons? Is that spirits? Is that, you know, what's going on here? So there's definitely something to be observed and learned from that. Nutty Beeswax said they are jealous of our souls. Yeah. We are extremely powerful. It's crazy. We'll begin to start waking up to it, you know, as this time progresses. I'm sure my children and grandchildren will probably really be taking things to the next level. Celestial med beds. That would be nice. Oh, there's something else that is interesting. Someone just mentioned in the live chat. It was Fraser Ray. Spot on, Ian. We are so blessed, and this is now in Bible. Yes. There's something interesting about the Torah specifically. Um, oh God, what is that? Geometra. Sorry if I'm getting the word wrong, but we understand that alphabetical letters have a numerical value, and if we were to take the Torah and line all the original Hebrew alphabets all into one consecutive string and line, and then run it through an algorithm using technology that can run all of these very I mean, rabbis used to try to do this by hand, but that would be insane and take forever. So now we have computers that make it easy for us, which is interesting because there's even scriptures that say at the end times, only then will it be revealed. But there's in the Bible. There's a way you can read things like the Torah or other ones. And basically, for someone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, let me give like a basic example. Let's say I have a piece of paper or a story or a paragraph of words on it. And let's say the words reads a story about step 1 through 3, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Step 1, blah, 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 and so on. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but that's what the piece of material is talking about. Okay, maybe that's useful for people. Maybe people learned a lot from it. It got passed around. A lot of people learned about it. But what people might not have known, if you'd have looked at it and you'd have started at any letter of your choice and then counted exactly, I don't know, let's say 15 spaces and then gone to the next letter and then counted 15 spaces from that letter and then counted and so on and so on and so forth, you might actually find very meaningful messages hidden within the message. And that is what's going on with the Torah. And I'm very curious when that information becomes like live, like when maybe you can, because basically if you, what it is you can ask it, as long as you do it in Hebrew, which is interesting, and it's because of the, I think it's called gematria. I don't know. I could see the word, I just can't pronounce it for some reason. Um, it's like you could ask question if you knew how to ask, and you could find anything in the Torah, and it was wild. Like it predicted assassinations, it predicted like current life events. It predicted there was one where it even predicted like Barack Obama being in the house of being elected as president. It predicted that, and the Bible was the Torah was written like freaking. We don't even know how we got it. To be honest, we don't. I mean, I know some people say it was written by Moses, or some people think, you know, when he saw the flaming fires of the heavens, that maybe it was given to him, or maybe he wrote it down, or maybe it was a collection. Do we really know where it came from? That's my thing. I know there's a lot of theories, but I don't know if we actually know. But the interesting thing is this text is actually a codex of probabilities, possibilities, and timelines. And if you know how to ask a question, you can find it in there, which is profound because we know all you have to do is seek in the word and you will find like whatever you go to the word. And it's interesting that we see this. And I'm also looking at this from the perspective of this reality being a holographic simulated experience. It's a mathematical, fractal-based, holographic experience projection of mind and consciousness. So if we understand that, if we're essentially in a simulated reality of mind and light using holograms, if you just look at the science of hologram and the math behind it, you could see that playing out in nature. It's almost like, okay, if I were going to put you in a video game, I would want to leave you a key of a video game. And you know what's funny? Every planet has a sacred text. I know I don't have a way of proving that, so I'm just going to have to make that statement, and you can use your discernment to see if you feel like that intuitively resonates as true. But every planet that I know of or I've visited has a sacred text of their own. And I think that's beautiful, that no matter what planet you incarnate on, there's going to be a book of instructions coded with information that will tell you whatever you need to know. Whatever you need to know. If you just knew how to ask, if you just knew how to seek, if you just knew how to see, you would know. And I think that is really interesting. So I wanted to share that with someone as well. It is gematria. Okay, thank you, Cosmic Water. And I do not know how to read Hebrew, nor am I educated in all this. I receive information and I sit on it and I try to research to back it up so I don't feel crazy with the information I'm revealed, and sometimes I share. The Bible is the history of the earth in all its entirety, like past, present, and future. So I agree with you, Arturo. Ariel said we should all be psychic by now. The Bible is also a map to your body, says Nunya Beeswax. And define our body would be my response to that. I Most High says numbers don't lie, and that's the interesting part of what I was trying to share about the codex of the ancient texts that we have been given, and some of the hidden information that is in it is, and we see it like when people see numbers, repeating numbers, and they see the synchronicities of the matrix, of the simulation, of they're starting to wake up to the reality, and everything's everything's numbers. It's really crazy when you start to just see it all. Pepito said, but the director of movie was the master. Interesting. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I like the Hebrew Bible the best. Evidence for us too. I agree, Ariel. I am actually trying to save up for a book that is called The Cipher, and it is the closest thing I have found to a Bible that includes all of the books, so even the apocryphas and all of them. So anything that was, and has translated it to English directly from Hebrew. So it wasn't like translated over and over and over and over and over again. It's a little pricey to get it. I think it's like $100 or so. But it's a big, hefty book, and I've been wanting to get that. So maybe that someone else needed to hear that. Maybe that's something you would be interested in as well. 7P said, I've seen script in the Bible change and disappear, actually. That's interesting. I wonder what caused that. Like, was that interference outside of the matrix of another intention? Or was that like a Mandela effect kind of thing? Like you shifted into a timeline where that wasn't the word? Ancient Ankh says, sigh. There is a certain way to decode the Torah. I'm not familiar with how those predictions were made accurately, but I know what you're talking about. Thank you. I'm glad someone at least knows what I'm talking about. And I want that. Basically, what I want is I want the software or a program to be made readily available on apps, computers, iOS, whatever. So anyone can access it. It's free, and then it will. You could type your question or your whatever, your inquiry in whatever language you speak, and then the app will translate it to Hebrew equivalent, and then it would put that into the codex of the Torah, and then get your answer. It'd be like a new Google search engine, except for instead of Google, it's God's word. I think that would be really cool. I'm not intelligent enough to make that, but I would like to manifest someone intelligent enough to do that for us. Carter said, if you are mentally weak, don't be a psychic. Yeah, seriously. It's not for the weak. Mystic Dragon says, that's why the High Priestess card and the weight decks show her holding a scroll that says Torah. The same thing is found on the Wheel of Fortune card to include alchemical symbols. I appreciate you sharing that. Ancient Onk said, no idea how those predictions were made. Jeez. I don't have I don't have the full understanding, and honestly my understanding is probably just at the same level that yours is. There's an individual named Greg Braden, I believe is his name. I believe he did a video covering this and he explained it a little bit. If you could try to find that, he might, because he's a scientist. I mean, he has vocab and knowledge that I'm not in that expertise. I wouldn't be able to provide the same level of communication or understanding. But I believe he did something on that, and I think you can find that on YouTube. Phoenix says it's how Nostradamus predicted. That's interesting. So you think Nostradamus had already known that there was a codex or a key to reading the Bible in a different way, or the Torah specifically, and had access to that? That could be interesting. Yes, Bard Deckless added, if not for our highest good, they will always ask, do you want to change it, to ask for your free will. And that is one of the interesting things is, let's say, the section of it said something awful that happened in history, like, there would be, I don't know, a nuclear war or something like that. And then it said it happened in this time and this day, or it had the possibility. It doesn't predict. It's a quantum cipher of timelines and possibilities, and it will oftentimes include along that page, will you change it, or can you stop it, or does this have to happen, essentially. So we do all have free will, and that is also another way of explaining my understanding of like free will or predestination. We have the free will to choose which of the infinite destinations that already exist simultaneously in singularity and eternal now. Oh my gosh, 7P, God bless you. I can't. God bless you. I will. I'm gonna go ahead and order it. It's on Amazon. I'll do that in a couple days when I get paid. I appreciate you. And then I will read it so that way I can expand and be a better service to you all. And hopefully I will have something to share of light. Mhm. Oh, Crystalline says I have it on my playlist, Becoming Supernatural, the Bible Code. Okay, cool. Yeah, give that a watch. That might be interesting. Ancient Ox says, I've heard Nostradamus used an obsidian scrying bowl like a crystal ball to make his predictions. I never heard of that. But that would be interesting too. So I wonder if he like used a combination of things. Can't wait to hear what you learned. Yeah, it's going to take me some. I'm gonna have to take some time because there's just a lot of the word I haven't spent enough time in. But I appreciate all your support. If I like take a brief moment of absence, it's either because I've got a lot going on and I just simply couldn't, or I'm trying to grow. So I will in this channel at random moments take times for myself so I can go within, so I can ascend, so I can integrate the download, so I can understand it. If I don't have anything to share, I'm not just going to sit here and waste people's times. And I also want to make sure that what I share is in alignment, it's truthful, and that it's something we can understand. Mitch said, how do you go about choosing what crystals and items you put out when you read? Oh, that's interesting. Honestly, I just go by the vibe. It's just, Sometimes I have a little help, because sometimes Trina will organize my set out for me because she'll help me set up sometimes, like if I'm doing something and I know I'm about to record, because I run a tight shift, you know? So, yeah, so it's just spur of the moment, whatever feels right, whatever I feel like putting there. I really like this one. It's Metatron's cube on this. I don't even know what this is called at this moment. I could tell you like fluorite or adventurine. Anyways, I really like that one, so I wanted him to come out. I've got a lot of crystals. It's not healthy. Sometimes I go on vacations if I'm ever fortunate enough to go on vacation, and I don't really spoil myself or splurge often, but sometimes I do tend to go a little crazy in crystal shops. But who doesn't? Like this one. This thing I impulsively bought for like $200 almost. It was almost $200. This is a Lemurian point, Lemurian quartz. I just had to have its name in the store was called Lemurian Badass. And the shop owner was really cool. I had a good talk with her. I think I have one of her stickers actually sitting on my table. Her shop is called Ascension, and it's out near Outer Banks in North Carolina. I believe that is the name of it. Really cool. She does like Reiki healing, and they do little classes and stuff like that. So if you're in that area of the United States and you feel like checking it out, I went there. I liked the vibes. I had cool conversations, and I found some nice crystals and cards. So anyways. Looks like adventuring. Thank you, Samara. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. The other one looks like it has a bowl in it. Which one? Oh my goodness. I have no idea. I get excited with crystals. Sorry, let's get distracted. Oh, Pleiadium was the first card to pop out. That doesn't surprise me. And Lemurian. We were just talking about you guys. Hi, Lemurians. Hi, Pleiadians. Rainbow. All right, so I feel like what's going on. Bleeding again, just can't. I guess I talked about him a lot in this reading, so I guess they really want to show themselves. Chosen One and Rainbow with Lemurian out here, crystalline grid, gods or goddesses. And that's what time it is. It's for us to wake up, to who we are, what we are, and us activate our light bodies, our shine all the rays and spectrum. So what's interesting? So we're humans, right? Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I've already pretty much done the reading, y'all. I'm just chatting and vibing with y'all, but I think you guys have watched my lives long enough to kind of understand that's how I tend to flow with these things. Um, Yeah, human. Hue. Like instead of Human, Hue. Hue. The hues of the light. Human. A man who has came to master all the rays of light, all the different colors and vibrations of himself. Human. I liked that. I heard that the other day and I wanted to share that. Mm. Frenchie said, please take your time. I know downloading is very taxing on the mind. Yeah, it really can be. And, you know, not every day is the best day to get on here and do this, but I do my best to try to maintain a good flow of helpful energy. I'm not out here to just produce just for the sake of production. Who viewed the beautiful moon? Won't see another like that till 2037. It was great. Honestly, it lit me up so much. I didn't do any readings. I just had to take the whole day to just kind of digest. I was up till like 7 in the morning. Didn't sleep at all. Was up last night, like just full blown downloads, communications. I mean, when you're an active channel, sometimes you can't shut that shit off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Someone says use obsidian scrying plates with a pool of water on it. I could see that being useful. I first started scrying with tarot cards, actually. I would when I was learning how to read tarot, I would start to scry in the card. I would look at the card and I would start getting images. That was when about like a year or so ago when I first started. Actually, I can't even say about it. No, I can't say. I don't know. I've almost been doing YouTube for almost a year now. Gosh, time is flying. Nobody says I sold all my possessions and I live in a tent. India next, perhaps. Wow. Minimalist lifestyle. I bet it's freeing. I hope you have peace. Ancient Ox says, I love history and trying to figure out how they did whatever they did and how I would do it. Then I compare the ideas and refine. Exactly. That's pretty much what we're doing, is we're experiencing all the different timelines and then refining it to perfection. We're just improving. To scry in wine, like in a glass of wine, that would be interesting. Has anyone heard of Haunted Stones of Nostradamus? No, I have not, George. Maybe someone else has and can share, because I've never heard of that. There's so much to learn about crystals and energy. Exactly. There really is. I had my Lemurian, one of my Lemurian crystals, not that one because it's got sand on it, but this one. And I had it in the lake yesterday, and feeling it back in the water, it just, I don't know, they're alive, you know? Crystals are a form of life. Ancient Ox says we all go crazy in crystal shops. That, to be fair, at least I'm sharing it to the kind of community that probably is the least judgmental about that and probably has, you know, indulged in that themselves. Buy on crystals on vacay, yes. That's like the first thing I do is like, all right, let's find the crystal shops. Like I don't care about anything else. Let's go there. Or bookshops, used bookshops. Oh my gosh, those are gems, and they're hard to find. Because you can find so much hidden treasure in a used bookshop. I'm a nerd, a book nerd. Low key. Low key. I don't use anything. I just get a sudden knowing conveyed telepathically without words, like fast geometric shapes or not even those. But I wear many stones on me 24/7, like black kyanite, amethyst, etc. Beautiful. Yeah, it's very like dense communication. It comes in instantaneously and like all at once. And it's like in that moment, in that present moment, you understand all of it in a way. And then you kind of have to sit back and be like, wait, what? And then like it takes you a while to really like integrate it. South Dakota has super cheap crystal. Okay, I've never been to South Dakota, but I'll try to remember that if I ever have a reason to go there. Travel a lot, so it's not out of the reason. I like hematite and obsidian. I love that we're just sitting here talking about crystals now. Like, this is why you guys are the greatest community. Ultimate. I keep my rocks in a nice silk bag. I have a collection of little string bags. It's kind of unhealthy. I've got a lot because they're so useful. Because I'll take different crystals with me for different reasons at different places for, I don't know. I just listen to what my energy tells me, okay? It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to have a reason. My intuition told me I wanted to carry this one with me, so it's coming with me. Dude, the cosmic wheel of supersymmetry made everything clear to me, and my photographic memory makes everything hard to forget. I get that. If it weren't for the photographic aspect of some of my memory, I would have terrible memory. But when I do remember, it's like I can visit, it's holographic, I can walk around it. But I've had a lot of head injuries, and that's why my memory is a bit different. Ryan Patrick said, y'all are the best. So much sharing of info here. Grateful for this channel where everybody can come together to present what they are into and know and study. 'Tis the season. Yes, I would love to see little traveling groups and little like I just have a vision for a better world. And I really feel like me starting this YouTube channel and doing tarot is just like a drop in the bucket of what's ahead of us. Like, there's so much more to be done. There's so many people. There's so much things I gotta learn. That we gotta learn. I gotta learn how to heal better and be a better healer so I can do more work. Like, I want to learn quantum healing. But I gotta first find someone that knows quantum healing, someone I can trust, someone I can resonate with, then go through my own quantum healing. Because I'm not going to practice anything on anyone that I myself don't understand. I buy a pack every few months. It gets longer in between. I'll just forget about them one day. Yeah, I get that. It's like you just slowly. What helped me, and I know some people are really not going to like this, but that's okay. What helped me quit nicotine, which I still haven't fully kicked it. I still got some pouches. I still occasionally, whatever. But one thing that helped me, now I don't know if this would help everyone because you might not, but I mixed tobacco with another form of herb that I would smoke. And I would, every time I wanted to smoke tobacco, I would just run a little bit of it in my joint and just roll a spliff and then go out and then like it made me not want to smoke as much because then the other herb would chill you out and then I'm not craving and then I'd go in and then eventually it got to like I got sick of it being in the other and then I realized, oh, I don't even want to smoke that. I just want to smoke the other. So it helped me like completely let it go. But there's different tips and tricks that people can do. That was just one that I did, was slowly convert it from one to the other, which I was already doing the other at that time. So it just made sense. Mhm. um, Ancient Ox said that a certain fungus is dangerous, and no one ever told him. Yeah, everything should be handled with respect. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Raylan said, I have read for 20 plus years and I have never scried in a tarot. I should try that, lol. I cannot believe I never thought of that. Yeah, it happened. The reason why it happened was because I was learning tarot and I didn't know all the meanings of the cards. So I would just rely on what I felt. So I would just sit there and be like, all right, what am I feeling from this? What is the energy of this? And then I would start to see scenes and energies in the cards. And then I would later on I learned what the cards meant. Robin Cooper says scrying scares me. And to do the full blown thing like with black mirrors and water and like I could see, you got to be careful. It's kind of like a portal. So I guess if the energy wasn't right and there was things in the astral and like it could be dangerous. So I'd just be careful. It doesn't hurt to be safe. Most of my scrying takes place like it's just when you like relax your vision a little bit and you just see it overlap this. So like I'll be looking at the cards, but then I see another reality in my mind's eye overlapping this one. Susanna said, yep, info was coming in all night long. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Glad I'm not the only one. Sometimes it's like sleep is just impossible. Barefoot says, that happens to me too. When I close my eyes, I get visions of geometric shapes and ancient writings often. Yes. When I was younger, I actually had a really hard time being in darkness because I would always see so much lights, fractals, and shapes and patterns I couldn't actually see. It was like I couldn't see in the dark, not because I couldn't see because it was dark, but because I saw so much light, I couldn't see what was actually in front of me. It was like looking through a kaleidoscope when it's pitch black and you know it's pitch black, but all I see is kaleidoscope. Like, come on now. Mm-hmm. Kaylin said, if you're battling with drugs, habits, just saying, think of the benefits more than the withdrawal, downfalls, and drawbacks. And I absolutely agree. I mean, shit, I lived a life of crime and drug use since I was like 11. So, yeah. I've been clean for years, and my life is completely different now than it used to be. My health, my sanity, my happiness, everything's different. Mike or Mitch said, interesting, because a lot of stuff you've said on this channel about people ascending and moving towards this new version of Earth actually aligns with a lot of Nostradamus predictions. I haven't looked into Nostradamus. I haven't read any of his work. I just know he exists. That's about it. Like, I know of him. I know what it is, but I haven't looked into it. So maybe that would be something worth diving into when I get the free time. When I get the free time. When I make the time, really. Let's take accountability. Aerial dark star, you can cleanse them in the river. I think that's why the crystal thanked me, because like I was cleansing it where it was from, not necessarily the lake. I'm sure it was from an ocean because the sand and stuff, but it appreciated being returned to the water. I want to hunt gems. That I would love to do. Like the videos, oh my gosh, that's like porn. The videos of the people when they got the pickaxe and they're like chicken at the mountain and they're like, oh, look at that, and they move some dirt and they pull out this big hunk of crystal. I'm like, why ain't that in my backyard? I want to go. Let's go hiking. Let's find this. I wonder if it hurts. Does it hurt the crystal to pull it from where it's from? Do crystals feel pain? I don't know. That'd be a question I'd want to know. I don't want to hurt the poor thing, but it is pretty, and I do want to take it home. I need to get some nice jade. Yes. Someone said I'm a sea head in a metaphysical shop. I get that. Go wild. But some of them are like disappointing. Like you go on them and the vibes off and it's all like stiff and like a snooty little bee behind the counter and everything's overpriced. I'm like, nah, screw this. Adios. I don't mind paying pricey if the vibe's right, but we can just say no to a lot of things and it'll wither away. Don't give it our energy. Don't give it our power. We can defund the devil. Barefoot said, I struggle with cigarettes still, and it's slowly fading away now until some me head bothers me, lol, and my head starts to mess up with me again. And, like, that's the one thing, and I will say that it's, you can overcome something and then easily, like, go right back to it. Like, after my accident, I picked up nicotine again. I had actually gotten rid of it right before that accident. I wasn't really using nicotine anymore. It was rare. It was either just for like a spliff or whatever. But yeah, no. I hit that. I got in that accident. I got out the hospital, and the first thing I went for was a beer and some nicotine. So I understand, you know. It is easy to easily slip back, but that's an opportunity to learn what we're doing in the first place, to increase our awareness of self. New York City has great used bookstores. I bet it does. I bet it does. I've never been to New York, but I may have to visit that. I have this blue gem I scry in, but it's new to me. You know what one of the greatest crystals I've found about scrying is smoky quartz. Smoky quartz in a ball, in a crystal ball form. Actually, if y'all got a second, I'm gonna grab it just so I can show y'all. And I'm back. Sorry about that. This guy. The smoky quartz. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the easiest to actually get a message, to get an energy out of it. Um, I don't know what it is with smoky gray quartz, but it has been the most effective one I have found. I saw it in a shop and I had to have it. Yes, instantaneously and grasp all at once, unless it's lightning fast geometric shapes. Weirdly, I understand what's being conveyed by each shape as they come, Susanna. That's it's a great way of understanding it. It's interesting because it's like they speak to a language. It's like the language is spoken to us in a way that makes more sense, but it's when we come out of that channel, it's not a language that we can just. It's weird. It's just symbolism and lights and shapes, patterns, math, and it all makes sense. You could just speak like a 10,000 word essay with just a few flashes of light and symbols, and you deeply understand the message. Frenchie said, need a shaman for I talk to the grays on. Yeah, uh-huh. I look, I when it comes to that stuff, I did some wild shit when I was younger, and I just have so much respect for it. I just stay away from it until I feel the pull or I feel a call like, okay, all right, something's pulling me back. And it usually just happens into my life. Like I don't even have to look for it or anything like that. So, yeah, I could see that. I've had some wild experiences, some really freaking wild experiences. Clear quartz grows on ley lines. I didn't know that, Ariel, but thank you for sharing that because that makes so much sense why some of the things I do where like I'll make like whole circles of clear quartz. Like I bought bulk clear quartz just so I can make little circles or lights or whatever I'm doing. And I found that being very really it just has a good energy to it. So that would make sense why I feel like it protects and grounds me so well. Do you mind me asking what region that you're from? Mitch said. I am from the East Coast of the United States. I've moved around a lot. I've traveled the world. I've been to like 9 different countries. I'm right now living in Virginia. I don't plan on living here much longer. If you've ever lived in Virginia, you would understand why I'd want out of Virginia. And yeah, and I'm probably still gonna stay south and still gonna stay East Coast, but won't share too much more than that. When look crystals, the faces moves and lights come out. Yes, I agree with that. Frenchie said, how do you scry? Like, what are you saying or thinking? It's like a pressure in your head, and if you relax, that pressure in your head overlaps this vision. Does that make sense? That's one way of me explaining it. Um, See, I don't do anything to scribe. That's the funny thing about a lot of spiritual gifts and stuff. Like, what are you doing? What's your technique? You don't do anything. It just comes to you. It's natural. You do nothing. And you be still. And you allow yourself to be receptive to the light or information or truth. But with scrying, it's like you unfocus your eyes. So you basically just relax. It's kind of like the same way you would to see auras. If you've ever done any of those tests where it's like, look at the dot. Unfocus your eyes. Do you see the hidden image? Your mind is opened. Like, okay, great. But yeah, it's similar to that. Just relax your vision, relax. You'll feel a pressure. I feel a pressure. And then that pressure kind of like opens up into like a projection that I can see. I appreciate you, Landon. Thank you for your support. My crystals are in a little velvet bag on a hair tie on my wrist, or else I lose it. LMFAO. That's hilarious. I love that. Gosh, I'm sure I look crazy to people that could like view me like when it comes to like I charge my crystals because I'll get a big glass container dish or a big tub because I got a lot of crystals, y'all. Like it's I do have a decent collection, and I would pick up this container and I'd fill it up when I'm going out there, and I've got my mirror, I've got my selenite, I'm going out there trying to position it the right position under the moon, pressing the mirror underneath the crystals so it can reflect back. And like people are probably looking at me like, what the hell is this man doing? Ryan said the Bible is also taking you on a journey through the Mazzaroth and Zodiac in quotations over and over, mapping the ages. Definitely a map of the body in the Mazzaroth, so definitely the human body and subtle body mechanisms too. And that answered my question I was asking because I had asked, how do you define our body? So okay, you understand that all is the body. Mm-hmm. I'll have to look into the astrology in the Bible. And it's interesting because they mention animals a lot. And a lot of the animals they mention are of the zodiac. So I appreciate you sharing that. I'm going to sit on that and I'm going to see what I can discover myself. I have a large collection of crystal skulls, several kinds, 25 or more. Oh my gosh, George. That's like one of my. So I have Trina when she shops, and it's funny. It's so funny because she likes the masculine crystals, and I like the feminine crystals. She always goes for the phalluses. She likes the big pepes of the crystals. Okay, and I go for like palm stones, or I do like points, but I like the chunky short points. So if you ever want to know who picked out what, if you find little short, chunky, raw points like these, I probably picked those out. If you see tall, skinny ones, she probably picked those out. If you see palm stones, I most likely picked it out unless it's a palm stone of a material she wanted, like the sunstone. But yeah, I find that interesting. But um, I forgot what I was even responding to. Gosh, my mind is all over the place. I can help with Reiki quantum energy work. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I just need to take my path to the next level, and I probably just need to meet someone who's on the next level. But you know what they say, when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. Me too. Frenchie said, "Me too. I want to learn how to heal too." Jesus said, "We are all healers." You know what I think is on Earth right now, the highest, most like honored archetype or path you can go on right now in Earth realm for the next like 6,000 years is a healer. Is a healer, because that's what we're gonna need. That's what we need right now is healers. Quantum healing like remote healing? Is there a difference? Um, so one of the ways that I mean quantum healing is soul retrievals, past life regressions, perhaps even like hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, reprogramming of the subconscious mind, tapping into the higher self. Kind of similar, if you're aware of Dolores Cannon, similar to what she started to do. She was like the pioneer of that shit, and then it branched out and became more. And yeah, that's what I was talking about, Ancient, when I was talking about quantum healing. Ornamental glass, especially in egg form, has also worked for me, Mystic Dragon said. Yes. Trina also has a thing for eggs. So I love that. Oh, I was responding to something about the skulls. Someone had an awesome collection of skulls. Skulls are my guilty little pleasure because, like, I go in there and, like, I'll see one, I'll be like, I want that, and then I look at the price and it's like $600. I'm like, fine, I'll get a palm stone. Need to go back and get those skulls though. There was an emerald one that just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I walked out the store with it. Well, I mean, I can believe I walked out the store with it because that price tag was like $480 or something. And I could have. And to be fair, I still spent that much in the shop, so like whatever, probably should have just got it, but I work all my crystals with the intent of love. I cook in the sun for hours and don't feel it until later. Crystal grids. I love taking my crystals and make little grids on the floor and then lay down. I would literally, it's funny, like Trina will walk in the room and like setting up all, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm gonna lay here. I'm gonna lay here with my headphones on for like 15 minutes. And she'll have to help me sometimes, like set up the crystals around my head. What if your body begins vibrating out of nowhere like a earthquake inside? That can be a couple different things, Kushiana. As long as it's not hurting you and you don't feel like something wrong is happening, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing. Some things can feel very intense and manifest as very interesting sensations. Said, love you, come to Texas. I would probably go to jail if I went to Texas, okay? It's kind of like Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I had so much fun in there, but it's a good thing I don't live in Atlanta. I'd be put under the jail, y'all. I would have too much fun. I would get in trouble. But yeah, I probably should come to Texas. That'd be fun. When I heard the word portal, that's a no for me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think you're talking about the scrying thing when we were talking about scrying queen. Yeah. And that's part of the reason why, like, a lot of people like want to know, how do I develop my gifts? How do you practice them? I'm like, honestly, bro, I spend most of my time trying not to. Like, I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to survive, stay grounded. I'll use it when I need to, but other than that, I'm not trying to develop it. Nope. I'm good. That shit's crazy. Ryan said Wrist Flex has a great channel for anyone who wants to hear about busting things going down with these dark groups getting cleaned up and all. And just a heads up for anyone who is interested in that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Come to Texas where love is. It might be. That might be where love is. But then again, I don't know. Isn't that where all the exes are? So, is that... I'm just joking with you. Fairy circles are ley lines. I learned yesterday how to spot them. I love that. I will keep that in mind. Lorinda said VA Beach. Yes, I grew up in that area for a long time. I used to play sand soccer on Virginia Beach. And then I moved away, and then I moved back, and now I want to move away again. I'm not in Virginia Beach, mind you, but I'm not too far from you. Still near the 7 major cities. Brass copper can help with that. I love playing with just simple things like crystals, magnets, and copper, and just seeing the interesting fields of energy you can create with it. Someone said, ask it for permission. Are you referring to when I was asking about, I wonder if crystals feel pain when you pull them? And if so, yeah, that would probably be the respectful way to go about it. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Jocelyn. Jocelyn said you should try, and that, it's spelled Hape, but the way I understand it is it's spelled with an R at the front and an apostrophe at the E. And now I know that could sound scary, but it's not that. It's not pronounced like that. It's rape or something like that. And yeah, the sacred tobacco. Um, you can find it online. I am aware of that. I really want to go to like South America and spend like a whole week in one of those. If y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I want to do that too. Man said, "Thank you for confirming my suspicions about the secret war." Willow said, "What are your thoughts of Lemurian quartz? Some of the easy like ones to really connect with. Now I don't know about like quartz specifically, but most of the Lemurian points or crystals I've gotten tend to have so much info in them, like information. Like out of all the crystals I get, the Lemurian ones usually give me some really intense downloads. Um, like when I got this one, I visited Inner Earth after I held it for a little while. I went on this little vision in my mind, and they revealed some things to me. They showed me some ways of the water and some of their ways of being. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. So that's my thoughts on Lemurian. Someone said, as an Aussie, I would live in Texas. Yeah, that's probably the closest thing you've got to your element in the U.S. Damn. Okay. Susanna said, an individual never thought. I'm paraphrasing right now. An individual never thought that they would quit very hard things to quit and addictions, and then they came across the Gospel of Peace, Book One, translation by Edmund Bordeaux, and he followed its context and got addictions freed, and that's wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. Said yes, Texas has best economy and everyone loves everyone. Aren't y'all about to be like your own country too? All jokes aside. Alright, just joking. Don't get mad at me. Circles going into woods appear is a ley line. Oh, did y'all see that circle that appeared in the sky in over Williamsburg? Someone mentioned that they were in what is it called? Virginia Beach. And Williamsburg's right near you. Did you see the circle in the sky? It was on the news. A lot of people saw it. It was just a gray like circle. It just was in the sky for a while, and that's really close to home. And that was a sighting that happened like these past 48 hours. So I don't know if you saw that, but if you have any thoughts on that and you want to share, please do. Breathing techniques, gamma brain waves. I'm glad you mentioned breathing techniques and gamma brain waves. So one of the things that I do to help me get ready to do a reading is I will listen to 963 gamma brainwaves, binaural beats, and that helps a lot, and also focusing on my breath. But another thing I do is just hum and sing. People in the house know I'm about to record because I just start humming or singing or doing something, and it's to help me center, it's to help me raise my vibration and clear my throat chakra and feel centered and confident. Are there any god? Mitch said, "Are there any gods or deities that you connect with that you feel like sharing?" Been getting into that lately. Um, no. Yes and no. I do understand that I probably have been working with a lot of energies and I'm just not aware of it. I know Hecate's been reaching out to me for a while. I've just been like naive, ignorant, and foreign to that path or understanding. So I know that one's one. Um, ugh, I don't know. I really resonate with a lot of things, like a lot of different ones. I can't really say there's a singular one, to be honest with you. Like or even just a couple main ones. I can't even give you a couple main ones. I acknowledge all of them under source, and then give all my gratitude and praise to Source. But I still acknowledge all the other unique players under the scope of the all. If that makes sense. I don't know. Try to be poly as respectful and understanding as possible. Don't pick out that choice of words and beat me up with it. Susanna said that book's free in audiobook from on YouTube. Okay, an audiobook form on YouTube. Okay, thank you, Susanna. Mystic Dragon says, have used tobacco rustica. It should be introduced by a shaman to serve you. Afterwards, you can work with it on your own and serve yourself. Did this recently myself. Okay. That's a lot of my thing is like I respect any of the teachers, spiritual or plant teachers, so heavily now that I really just kind of, unless I absolutely know I'm supposed to, I just choose not to anymore. Yeah, Arthur, everything has awareness. Okay, so that was what you were talking about. Thank you. Everything has awareness. Ask Crystal for permission. It will tell you if it wants to journey with you until it asks for its release. I appreciate that. That's a very respectful, aware, loving approach. Yeah, I feel you, Frenchie. So maybe we should refrain on it. Mystic Dragons, I was referring to spell correct got me, and I think it got you again. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, why exactly are we speaking of was it the penguins or seven planes? I don't know. Hop on YouTube. We'll just go down rabbit holes and rabbit holes. We'll start talking about one thing, and who knows where we'll end up. Mm. I feel you, Bobby. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. What's legal in Texas? What is it? As long as you got a gun, you can get away with it. Just kidding. I have bad humor. This is why I can't actually, like, really cut up and laugh, because I'd probably get myself in trouble on here. These are just some things you can't say online. And I would. I would be the one to say it. Bobby said, had a dream about 30 years ago with a ring in the sky and an eye appeared in the center of it, judgment and knowledge. Thank you for sharing that. There's a ship over here in Texas. I see it in the sky. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more. A whole lot more, because there's a big, like, disclosure and revelation that needs to take place. And it's Victor. I love you. Hi, Victor. I'm glad you stopped by and you're here. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. I feel like that too when I took Dimitri. I can't actually say what you typed, just rewording it. But yeah, I feel you, Julia. That's actually why I'm a felon. Because of that chemical. I was charged with manufacturing. which is stupid because I was making medicine. Fucking assholes. Whatever. Don't get bored. That's your biggest enemy, in my honest opinion. It can be dangerous, especially an intelligent mind that gets bored. That can be really dangerous. Mystic Dragon said Hecate is a taskmaster like Metatron. Her path is not for timid or faint of heart. Yeah, it's just, it's got a stern energy to it. I would agree with that. Human beings always need a challenge. Well, yeah. How else are we gonna grow? Jacob said that he had an extraterrestrial encounter in 2018. Tall, gray, big eyes, big head. Yes. I've had some wild experiences, y'all, that just, if I even tried to share them, it would just probably discredit every word I've ever spoken, because people would be like, you have lost your damn mind. George said, glad not to be a felon and own several firearms. I feel you. I'm actually trying to get I can get my rights back now. It's been a little while. I've got to go through a process, but if I feel like it, I can go through the process. Someone mentioned that you get to a point where you start remembering bits of past lives. Yes, and it's like putting together pieces of this interdimensional puzzle of self. Mitch said, do you sing often, have training, or play any instruments? You have a nice voice. Thank you. Honestly, no, I was sheltered with my talents. I never sang, I never hummed, I didn't feel worthy or good enough to even be myself, so I hid those parts of me. I actually convinced myself that I was terrible at singing, that I was really bad at it, and I should never try. I recently, this past year or so, have been doing it a lot in my free time. I've never taken classes, I've never done anything like that. It's just something that I enjoy doing. I do play instruments, I don't as often as I should, and I don't play as well as I used to be able to, but I do play instruments. I have played around with making beats and music and stuff. I am musical, I do like music. I am actually, my real talent in music is probably songwriting. I could probably really write some music easily. It just flows. I remix a lot of music that I'm listening to. So like, let's say a song is stuck in my head, but I'm washing dishes and Odin's scratching his butt. Then I will start singing about I'm washing my dishes and Odin is scratching his booty. And I'll just go around my day. I'm just singing about what I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, or I sing about praising to God or whatever. But no, I don't have any training. I don't play. I don't sing. I don't have any experience. And for the longest time, I didn't have the confidence in myself to ever even, like, the fact that I sang on like YouTube one day just to give a message to someone fucking shocked the hell out of me. So yeah, that's my response to that. Mm-hmm. Can't they forgive that felony if it's legal now? Depending on the well, my felon. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else, but I was charged with manufacturing of dimethyltryptamine. So no, there's no laws that says dimethyltryptamine is not a controlled substance. So I very much was just charged and still have it. And of course, it just says manufacturing of a controlled substance, so it fucks me everywhere I go. Everyone thinks I'm creating boom boom labs and trailer parks, and that's not what I was doing. But you know, whatever. Live and learn. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Frenchie. No, never would I think you lost your mind, 144. I appreciate that, Julia. Sometimes I think I freaking lost my mind. Polly said, you have to share them, but you have to share them in the right way. Otherwise, the algorithm will hate you. Sorry, but that's the way it is, and it's not right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 George said, been a DJ for 15 years. Love it. Super fun. That sounds awesome. I bet you're fun to be around. I never really had the opportunity to explore my talents or gifts in music. It was just like shut down and shunned. And then when I later on grew up or whatever, just, I don't know. Maybe there'll be an opportunity in the future. Maybe I'm supposed to make music of like pain and high vibration and ascension. Just put it on YouTube. Someone says you sound like you've had vocal training. Oh, thank you. No, I'm on the autistic spectrum a little bit, so I have a weird thing about sounds, and I like hearing sounds. And so I really like musicians that can do a lot. They have a long range, so they can be like, like bring it up and down and in and out and around and around. I'm like, oh my god, yes, that is talent. I want to do that. So I will play around and like I'll hear even like a cappella or stuff like that where I'll hear like weird sound effects or I'll hear the music. I'll try to recreate the sounds with my vocal cords, and that's why. If it sounds like I've had vocal training, it's literally just because I have a hobby of trying to recreate sounds with my voice. I used to make a lot of sound effects when I was younger. Um, I would probably be really great at making sound effects for like cartoons. Mm. Bobby said, "Fuck him up." Wah, 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 wah. I'm gonna do my stuff. All right. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. Jacob says, Dimitri is the shiz. Honestly, that out of all the ones, that one was like, all right, handle this one with caution. $144. Did you see the videos I sent? If you sent them an email and you haven't got a response to your email, I probably haven't gotten to your email. If you've gotten a response to your email, then yes, I have seen them. Pearl Girl said, is Dimitri like mushrooms? Dimitri is the granddaddy of all of them. If you just look at the molecular structure, anything else is an imitation of what that molecule really is. So yes, it is like that. It's like the grandfather that the fungus came from, molecularly. It's like a chemical manifestation in the physicality of our link to each other in the hyperspace and spiritual realm. It's like a crystalline manifestation. That's cool, Lauren. Thank you for sharing that. I'm too scared to do it. Look, I 100% will just, with the amount of things I've seen and done and experienced, like the only thing I really will ever encourage anyone to do is go to God and breathe air and drink water. If you want to search out for more, you can, but you really don't need to. Kind of like, but last in 1,000 times. Yeah, depending on the form. That's a good way of doing it. Wish it would find me. It just might. Careful. Ask and you shall receive a full-blown interdimensional blast off through your consciousness while you're being ripped out your body. Like, okay, have fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, has it really been 3 hours? When did I start? No, not quite. I think I started at... No, it has. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's probably why my legs hurt. And we should be besties. Listen to Thundercat. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're all going to be doing all kinds of... Like, I really do feel like a lot of us are going to experience a whole new way of life on Earth not too far from now. Not too far. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Hey, you're okay. Thank you. Thank you for warning us. The threat has left. Thank you, big dog. Yeah, we know. You big dog. He's letting y'all know he defended y'all. There was a threat. He handled it. You would be great at beatboxing. Yeah, I used to play around like making weird noises and stuff. And I still do sometimes. I feel like it just gets on people's nerves, so I just tend not to do it. Because I feel like I'm just obnoxious sometimes. Neurodivergent people, their minds are simply just more in tune with spirit. I honestly feel like, you know, it's just a evolution. Right bang, baby. Let's go. Gregorian chants or throat singing supercharges meditation. Yes, honestly, like I'm really starting to learn the power of my voice, and it's a slow journey. But praying with singing, I'll bro. I will return to I will return energy back. I'll like exercise demons out my home by singing. Like by singing, bro. I'm happy. I'm in love. I ain't scared of you. Get the fuck out of my house. I serve God. Like, what you doing, bro? What's going on here? But yeah, singing. Our voice is very, very powerful. Catholicism is a hell of a shut down all the creativity. Yeah, yeah. Right brain is right. Okay, it is right. Vibrato is what you are describing. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rebecca. Rebecca said if crystals feel pain, they are torturing them with dynamite across the road. I live in a power spot being ruined by low vibrational idiots that also destroyed my home. Yep. Dimitri occurs in the body anyway. That's what I really like. How the fuck, like, really? You gonna arrest that salad? Go arrest that salad. Go on. Go on. Go arrest them. You said it's illegal. You said it's controlled. Go arrest that salad. What the fuck? It's bullshit. Like, I could understand if I was trying to be like El Chapo with the shit, but no. I used to have gematria software in like 2010. Can't remember what the title of the software was. Yeah, this stuff has been out there for a while, and now that like technology's really advanced, I'm waiting for it to be like public. Thank you, Keith, and I really appreciate you. Music has an effect on the molecular structure. Yes. So, and like, I will sing the intention of the healing love and light into my body. Like, my cells resonate with love. And I will just, and it like, it responds. Everything is hearing, it's feeling, it's all vibration, it's energy. So we can bring it all up. And as shamans were really good at using like akaros and humming and drumming. You can clear energy like that. Like I will walk into a room sometimes and I'll make weird noise and people are like, what the fuck is wrong? I'm like, just leave me alone right now. I'm rebuking some shit. Rebuking some shit by making weird noises with my mouth. But whatever. Keith, just don't drive on it. Yeah, please don't. Although it's really crazy when your brain is naturally producing its own, like just a lot, and you just have moments where this is why I ground so much. I have to ground. I have to ground, or it would be too crazy to live here. Mm-hmm. Uh. I used to hunt mushrooms with my dad. When I was a teenager, I've been shot at with rock salt because I would used to hop fences and go flipping cow patties over looking for. And we had some good hauls. Oh gosh, Poppy. I happen to be a dumbass and ask for patience. Yeah, don't do that, bud. Oh gosh. We really do got to be careful of what you ask for. You ask for strength, and the Lord's going to break you over and over and over until you're strong. Ask for patience, and the Lord's going to test you and test you and test you until you learn to have that patience. Keith said, I can't see spirits. Like, I've met a few people who can, but I can hear them. Yeah. Mine used to be, I could sense them, I could feel them, and I could hear them. I was very telepathic and clairaudient, which also caused, like, almost like a schizophrenia psychosis in my lower the stages of this development. But that may change. You may activate more and unlock more because, yeah, my medium shift abilities have shifted a lot. Cosmic Mutic said, there's an interesting piece of extinct technology called an accutron. It has a tuning fork movement for keeping time. That's interesting. Oh, like... Oh. That's cool. I like that. Okay. Cosmic water. They didn't think I was smart until 8th grade. Now they're rethinking again. That's funny. Throat singing is awesome overtones. Yes. I mean, it's just, it's crazy what you can do with it. Sing to your water before you drink it. Exactly, Jessica. I agree. When first hearing spirits in your thinking is schizophrenic, you have to make a recording, an audio recording. Okay, Keith. You know what I used to do to help me? When I couldn't tell what was real or what's not, I would talk to it in my head, but not verbally. If it responded to me, I knew it wasn't really here. And what I mean by that was I knew it wasn't like a physical person in the room. If you've ever like really struggled with mental illness, you would understand what I mean. Like, and there's individuals that they need help. Like, I need help to know. Like, can you tell me, is this really happening? Is this really right in front of me, or am I just? So I used to just think in my head, a response, and if it responded to me, I'd have been like, "Ha, got your ass. I'm not real," and then it would argue with me, and I'd argue right back. God Lil Simo said, "Yo, my battery was 22 and I don't have electricity right now. And after opening the live, my battery is now 33." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because this collective resonates with the Most High. We are the electrical charge. Singing is as important to me as drinking, grounding, smudging. I've been singing mushy love songs since I was a toddler. Yes. That's beautiful, Susanna. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are electric. Enjoy that charging phone. They gotta arrest themselves. Exactly. Thank you, 7P. Like, everybody need to go to jail. You're all felons. You all right now. Every time you dream, every time you go to bed, you are committing a felony. You're like, that's some bullshit. But this is why I got in trouble a lot as a kid. Because I was rebellious. I mouthed off. I would buck up to the enforcement and call them out on their bullshit. Didn't do me any good, but it's what I did. How did it shift? What did you do to have to tap in more? To tap in more? I used it for others, Sarah. If you want the honest truth, I helped spirits pass on. I did work for the other side. I did free work. I did spiritual work just to help others, and I did it just to help. I did it with love, and then it increased. And I didn't want it to increase. It just did because I got assigned more tasks. It was like, okay, so if you can do that, I want you to be more of assistance this way. I'm like, oh my gosh, more gifts, more ascending? No. But yeah. Make sure you guys charge your crystals tonight. Yes, I wanted to last night and I couldn't because of the weather. I don't know what it is. Like every time we get beautiful moons, no weather. Like, no good weather. All right, hallelujah. I'm gonna just leave that. I just read your comment. I'm just leaving it. I'm not speaking that out loud. But okay. Oh, does anybody know what red and blue lights mean? Mm, like in like, are you seeing the red and blue light? All right, so for me, whenever I see, like, if you're just talking about like energy, like you're seeing an orb or like a being of light in your room or something, I don't have much feedback for the red, but I have been seeing that. But I don't have much feedback of like what that is. I oftentimes associate blue with Archangel Michael. If I see blue light, I'll sometimes associate that with Archangel Michael. You can look at, if you wanted to maybe find out the answer, the color red is of the root chakra. So then be like, okay, what archangel is of the root chakra? And maybe you could find out that way. Use your intuition. And not every time I see blue light is it Archangel Michael. I usually oftentimes will see it as a message of love, of truth, of protection, of peace. Sorry, I can only answer half your question, but I'm not going to say something I don't know. Are they golden carrots though? Y'all stop. Imagine if everyone in the world had all the psychic abilities fully restored, no one could be tricked. Well, honestly, that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. True collective transparency and what's that word? Accountability. Yeah. I mean, like, why would you lie? Why would you lie? You really shouldn't want to do that anymore because everyone's gonna know you're lying. When TV violator will be prosecuted. Sorry, had when TVs had vacuum tubes, they would glitch when I was feeling good. That's interesting because didn't they just wasn't there like a negative ion charge in the vacuum tube? So like if you were, I don't know. I need to first like look at the diagram and then understand what I'm even thinking about before I even try to put that thought together. But interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe you got blocked from other jobs so that you would start this channel. Yeah, actually, my path was very, when I look back, it was very obvious what was going on. I did get blocked from that, but it also, it didn't just hurt my jobs, it hurt housing. I mean, if I try to get housing, a lot of people will look up my background and they see that one manufacturing and are like, oh, hell no, you ain't doing that in my property. And it hurts. It hurts because I don't even get the chance to tell them what it was or what happened or how long ago that was. They don't get to know me or my story. I'm just labeled for the felony. Tiffany, no more asking for strength. Oops. Yep. Ask for peace. That's a safe one to ask for. Ask for peace. That one usually doesn't cost too much to get. Peace and joy. Rebecca said I took a half-hour course on Reiki, but turns out I'm a natural. I've never taken any courses on Reiki. I've never done any research. I've never studied it. I know I'm a healer because I've done healing on people in the moment when I knew I needed to. When someone was very upset, I've pulled the energy out of them. I've had someone talk about traumas and then I will pull the energy and feel it and almost throw up from their pain and spit the energy out and they feel lighter. They feel better. I don't know what that is. I don't know if like I'm just like a transmuter or an alchemist, but I'm pretty sure if I were to take a course in Reiki, I probably would be very efficient in it. And I think that's why I'm ready to take my spiritual path to the next level because I really feel like I'm supposed to be traveling and healing people, healing the world. One heart and soul, one mind at a time. What's a green orb? Pearl Girl said. When I see green, I usually think of heart chakra. I usually think of Raphael. I think of love. I think of healing. I think of nature. Now, sometimes it'll be, I'll get like other spirits. So you got to use your discernment. You know, you can't universally slap it's that, but oftentimes I see it being those things. Sometimes it's like nature spirits or other beings. Sometimes it's feminines that operate with green light, like divine feminine energies, I've noticed oftentimes use green. Frenchie said, that's it, the key, help others. That's when my magic is the strongest. I never feel right doing magic for my own benefit. I agree. I really do. Like all my gifts have always expanded every time I've used them for others. Good night, Jeremy. I probably need to head off here soon, too. Probably been staying on here a little longer than I should have, but I feel like a lot of people enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's okay. At least it's a cup of tea for someone. I see demons in red lights. Okay. I used to associate red with a very dark energy when I was younger, and when I was dealing with a lot of demonic energy, I used to associate red with a darker, more evil, nefarious energy. So I could see why you that statement. It's been a while since I even thought about that. That was a dark time in my life. Yes, Keith says exactly the selfless acts of just wanting to help. Mm. And you can tell. You can tell when a practitioner is really like, are they doing it for the money? Are they like? You can tell. You can just. It's sad they think you can't tell. Orbs can also be your ancestors. Yes, oftentimes they're angels, they're ancestors, they're other beings that are there, and they're trying to let you know they're there. I'm not sure what you're asking, Blop Blop. You were told to stop spying, weren't you? I don't know if you're talking to me with someone else in the chat, but I'm not ignoring you. I just don't even know what you're talking about, so I can't even really respond to you. Meditation at night, and that's, oh my gosh. All right, so Tao said, I started meditating when laying down for bed and started to reach a REM state on mind or a macabre light body state. My meditations at night are becoming really strong. And I also feel like that's partially because the veil is thin. I also feel like it's getting magnified by the moon. So the veil is thin, you're near the witching hours. We understand that. We also understand that the moon will influence and make it more powerful. So yes, I completely agree. And I think that is why the ancients did a 4 on, 4 off sleep schedule, which I tried to do myself. I couldn't do it at all. But it was so that they could be awake during the peak of the sun and the peak of the moon and still get healthy REM cycles. Tiffany, it's the moon every time. Yep. Joey said, literally, I can freeze time. There is a practice that used to be practiced by monks. I forgot exactly how it went, but essentially, you would look at the clock. You would match the frequency of the minute and the out, or the minute and the second hand, and if you focus long enough, you could stop the second hand from moving, and you could pause time. I'll have to remember or see if I can look and figure out what that was, but I was just trying to give you validity in your statement. You stated that you can pause or freeze time sometimes. Yes, that has been documented. That's not impossible. That has been done. There's actually practices to train monks how to do that. Now, if you can do that, you